caught up in talking about the things that should be done right in home theater projection that I literally forgot my stuff altogether. Sorry about that, altogether. Sorry about that. I get so caught up in this stuff. First things first, let's start this off with, my name is Kenneth Berg. My company is Black Series Edition, LLC. We have another company coming up under our exotic collection, which we have right there. That's our other company. And we have another company that we are working on under the Black Edge. This is a new advanced ambient light projection, Black Edge screen paints for commercial distributors. So we have quite a bit going on. There's a lot of work going on. Right now, this is a launch page. The launch page pretty much gives you information about what's going on. We are still selling screen paints. We had a customer saying they thought we're not selling screen paints. Well, yeah, we still are. This is just a launch page right here. We have set up. It gives out information, stuff like that. I'm going to be putting a distributor page back up. It shows our video demonstrations, tests, all that good stuff. Shows what our company has always been about. And right here, just so we can get information for the exotic page, what's coming up next, another website we're working on. I got to put dates here for 2023. I literally got to put them in there. So little things we got to tweak today and get it done. Just realize I designed the label, the dummy labels on this side, so now they got to be switched over for this side for editing. And I was able to go in and put the page back together after freaking Techno Taco or Taco Technician decided to do his little job on the page. And some people are saying, oh, why don't you just... No, we don't do save pages over here. We do save pages, but I should be able to leave my machines on without something touching it. That's all to it. I tell people at the end of the day, a cat can be trained just like a dog. I would never understand, as long as I live, why people let animals walk on their countertops. Would never understand that. This is an animal that's walking on your floor all day long and steps into a litter box, goes down to a backyard. Well, I don't see dogs. I have seen some videos where dogs are literally walking on countertops, but cats, and generally, you got to train your cats to stay off your countertops, because people don't remember to wipe their countertops down every couple of minutes, and they don't. Countertops are extremely dirty. So what happens, the cat will sit there, go in his litter box, and God knows where he's at in your house that you have never been at before, and he'll walk right across your countertop, and I'll see people come out there and make a sandwich right directly on the countertop. Most people use plates or something, but some people will literally make a sandwich right there, or take their hand and stick it on the table, and yeah, that's how you get sick. And you wonder why you're sick. That's why. And I like, well, gee whiz, there's 4 cats sitting on the countertop. God knows where they've been at in your house, places that you don't even know even exist, and they're on your countertop right now. So that's why my cat's trained. When I had my leather sofa, you notice there were no scratch marks, none of that stuff. He don't scratch my sofa. He doesn't go near my projectors on the floor. He doesn't go on top of my desk. He's not allowed on furniture. He's only allowed on furniture he's allowed to be on. That's why we have a special sofa for Taco and a special chair for Taco. That's where he's at. You don't see him climbing all over the place. No, we don't do that over here. He got his own room to himself where he can go in his room and he can climb on whatever he wants. And even in here, he has his own section where he's at. That's why I place him setting up is perfectly and nice. We should have no problem getting it, because I'm about to drop a ton of money into their banking account. We got that placed. We know we got it. They're used, like I said, most people are used to getting that first, second, and third. We can do 4, 5, 6 months in advance with no problem. So, like I said, money talks. It does. It just talks. That's how Mr. Burr was able to rent so many houses so fast, so quick, because I just dropped enough money into their accounts, and that would be the end of it. That's what we're going to do here, because I like this place and I want to be in there. And it's a perfect section there for Taco. Perfect for him. Thank God. I won't have any toys to trip over when I get up in the morning. All right, let's get to work here, because I'm getting off topic and I got so much to do. It's already going on 8 o'clock. I got to be out the door in the Uber luxury lift. That's all I take, people. I like the luxury lift. That's just who I am. But anyway, I got to drop off packages to my customers. One of the things I like to do, any place where I'm bumping the camera where I get established at, I like to be close with the post office. I like for them to know who I am when I'm walking in that place, because that means I don't got to sit in line. I get little perks, like, usually you have to go to that drop-off box. I don't like putting stuff in the drop-off box, because when it lands in the drop-off box, it could take forever to get scanned. And the customer can be sitting there with a tracking number that we sent to them and say, hey, it's still showing idle. It's not scanning. That's what happens when you put stuff in the drop-off box. Unfortunately, where I was at, we only put them in the drop-off box. Here, it's different. So now I became good friends with some of the postal workers there, which I like to do because the last place is that I was good friends with managers. I was good friends with the, I got little perks here and there. If I need to find out certain information about where stuff was at, yeah, I can contact one of my friends. Go, hey, what's going on? So and so, can you do me a big favor? So and so and so. And no, I was not friends with them because of that. I was really good friends with them because I met these people and had good conversations with them. We had one woman that came to the house. She had respiratory issues. And in my neighborhood at the time, we had these hills going up and down in different directions. And she had a few instances where it was really hard for her to breathe. And thank goodness I have respiratory issues too. Well, it's not a thank goodness. I always have extra inhalers on me. And I also too carry cough drops and ice cold water and ice pops and stuff like that I give to them because I know the work is hard. So when they come to my house, which is the last house on the route, there's always something waiting for them. These either cold drinks, or I would have ice pops or ice cream or anything they would need to help them get back onto their truck and get where they need to go. People have to understand these postal workers at the end of the day are driving around in vehicles who have no air conditioner whatsoever. So if you're having a rough time going from A to B on foot, or you're driving around, which you should have air conditioning, but if you don't, they have a truck that they're driving around that has no air conditioner whatsoever at all, period. And then they have to take all that heavy mail and they have to track it up and down and here and there, and they have to deal with whatever nonsense, whatever neighbor is putting out at the end of the day. So have a little courtesy and respect for other people. Some people get really nasty with them. That's why some of them have nasty attitudes. I would have a nasty attitude too if I had to go through all that at the end of the day. But yeah, that's how it is. But when they would come to my door, at least I would know last stop, I could take care of them. So every post office I go to, they know me when I go down there. So now when I'm at the new place, I walk in there and they go, oh yeah, you're the guy with the packages. Yep, that's me. Just don't worry about it. Just drop them off here at the window and walk away. So you can have a line of 20 people in there. All I have to do is go in and just drop my packages off there and they take them from there. And they get scanned right from the door, which means your tracking number activates the minute I walk into that post office. When I leave out of there, your tracking number is activated. That's why I don't want to stick it in the box. If I stick it in the box, it gets set in there for a couple of days before they get around to it, because it's going to be pretty busy in there. It's Christmas time, and your product will get scanned. This is why we have customers will contact us and go, "Hey, my tracking number is still here. Did you ship it out? We've been shipped it out. It's not showing that it's activated. That's because it's sitting in that pile. When they get around to scanning everything, then you will activate, which will probably be a few days or whatever. How maybe it could be 1 day, it could be 2 days, depending on how far they're backed up in there. That's why I prefer taking it over to the desk, because right there it's scanned right from the door. When I had the manager come out to the house. When the manager would come out to the house, they would scan them right from the door because they had that machine. They can automatically scan them and pick them up from the door. And over here, real nice. I like that. The day I'm going to walk in, I know the line's going to be berserk, but because I know a couple of the people already work there, I'll drop my packages off and walk out the door. I already got the door so fast that when I take my luxury lift down there, that I just have them wait in the car and I just edit the address, and they can take me right back. I'm going to be in and out in a hot second. So, and then they like the fact that when I bring packages in, they're already done. They'll do any processing work. Sorry about bumping the camera. I got my stand here right next to my shoulder here. All right, so we got it fixed. Techno Taco, whatever, came in here and did his own little job on my page right here, and we're able to go in and fix it. The price page was missing because that's what we put in here, because you've been asked us what's the cost of this technology, and we had to put some information there. We will have samples of this product. Yes, we will. So keep in mind, the sample will have a batch number attached to it. Play with it if you... Oh, I forgot about that too. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm so busy. Literally, I got people I got to bring to court. And I keep forgetting this because I'm so busy. It's not that... You naysayers, understand this. It's not that we don't have the ability. We do have the ability. I'm busy. Really, really busy. I'm in the process of going through brokers for look for places to live at. I'm looking at real estate property for the summertime. I found a place I can rent window space, which is fantastic, which means I don't got to rent an entire building. I can just rent the windows out. My business cards I had to redo all over again. I'm in between the IRS. I'm basically finding out where the other EIN number disappeared to, and have to go down there because right now calling them is going to be a headache. So I got to take a trip all the way down to the IRS building, figure out where the freak is the EIN number so we can reassemble that where it needs to go. I'm tracking down with these other lawyers for the copyrights and for the patent pendings and provisional patents and the LLCs and all this stuff. All these companies have to have LLCs attached to them. So it's so much freaking work. Who. And I'm working on 3 companies at the same time. Ta-da! Yeah, that's my world right there. And that's why I tell people at the end of the day, sorry about that, people. It's early in the morning. I'm a little bit choked up. Sorry, excuse me. But anyway, as I told you at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference where you're at in the world, gentlemen. Let me explain something to you. As long as you know how to get the job done, that's what you don't understand. You have all this time in those spaces and you've done nothing at all. You can't even do the simple request of backing up your products next to everyday household paints. I'm way beyond that now. When you're requesting for me to do testing, are you kidding me? It's a joke. Do you have any idea how much tests, how much product I've developed down through time? It's insane on how much work we've done. So in this little spot that I'm at, I've already officially made the Black Series an official company. And in the process of building another company on top of that and re-engineering the other company and rebranding it to get it ready for mass production and basically distributorship products. I've got licenses for all these companies. I can file my taxes on the 31st for 3 of the companies, and the other company, we're going to let them know that one company it's not going to be there anymore. We haven't done anything at all except for complain, cry. And people, you don't understand. I've got a, right now, if you hear a little notification going, do, that's them crying. Every time I bring up that whole thing about testing yourself, and your stuff should be tested. Why shouldn't it be? Why are we crying about this? What is the problem? Stop crying. Get the test done or stop selling. That's the 2 only options you have. Test it or pull it. That's it. Either you test your products and you show the customers are getting what they paid for, or you pull your product and get rid of it. That's what you do. There's your option. There's no crying, no Karen calls. I don't want to hear about this or hear about blah. Nobody wants to hear that crap. Nobody. Test it or don't stop selling. That's it. Simple and plain. There is no crying in between. Last thing I want to hear if I go in to buy a car or motorcycle or whatever the frick I'm buying at the end of the day, I do not want to hear the manufacturer crying if I ask them, hey, is this product tested? I don't want to hear a Karen crawl. If you got it done or not. If you don't, you need to pull that item. That's all to it. So that's the end of that. Let's move on. All right, so let's see what we're doing here. The exotic page, I got to put information on that because we got an art community tied to that, and they're going to be doing a lot of testing. We will have samples for the limited edition. We have to have samples for it. Number one, it's rare to get. Number 2, there's going to be an insane amount of policies attached to it, and number 2, it is expensive. Well, under our guidelines, it's expensive, not compared to the $4,000 to $5,000 projection screens. We can level with that stuff with ease. But anyway, we still have to almost some sample sheets with that. Now, mind you, just because you order a sample sheet doesn't mean you get the screen paint. No. You're still going to have to be to try to get that screen. You probably have an easier chance getting the sample sheet than you will be able to get the paint. This one just want to tell you that right there from the door. That's how rare they are. As I said before, if you can understand the scale on how crazy it is to get one of these, there are only 10 made in the entire world. That's how rare they are. And if you're able to obtain one, and if you try to take that risk and order another one, because you're able to get access to the shopping cart when there's anything in there, and you try to make a purchase for another one, because say there's some more in the another shopping cart, you will automatically have your second order refunded directly to your account, explaining why it was returned to your account, and you're only entitled to 1 per month. That cuts down people, companies gouging and all that other bad stuff. Because we've had that before. I've had a company come in and buy like 21 gallons of a product one time from us. So like, gee whiz Louise. But anyway, yeah, that's cuts down on that nonsense. Also, too, now say if you try to think that I'm going to get around this. Mind you, Mr. Bird is looking at this, not a machine. I'm staring at this at the end of the day, not a machine. So when I see that pop up, you're not fooling a machine. You're trying to fool me at the end of the day. I'm watching your order when it pops up on my notification. If I see that same email, whatever, pop up, the same way that's going to go in and change your email. I don't know how you're going to work. You can do it that way. You're going to need a whole new PayPal account or credit card. I don't know how you're going to go about that. But anyway, if we see that information pop up again and you try to force the cart to try to place the order again, both orders will be refunded back to your account and you cannot order for that entire month. That's what's going to happen. We want people to have the right to say that they earned the right or were able to, or lucky enough to get one of these. Now, for those of you that are mad and upset because you're thinking you should make a lot for it, then I wouldn't make it rare, wouldn't it? We have technology. We have advanced technology. Can't obtain one of these, then we have the other technologies that we develop. It's just this one's going to be a special product that we're making. And yes, it will have a ton of testing, which it should have. I can't wait to start going out because now I got access to move around where I want to move at. Guess where I'm going to be at? I'm going to be at Home Depot buying up all their black paint. That's where I'm going to be at. And the first thing I'm picking up is that Dynasty Black. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to blow that stuff. We're going to crush it. I cannot wait. You know how excited I am now to get tests done? I don't have to order anything online. I can go right out and just get it out with my bare hands. You know how much paint I'm going to be buying from Home Depot? I'm buying so much black paint. I might wipe out their entire, well, you know what? I might do that. I'm going to wipe out their entire product line of black paint. I'm going to knock all of it out in one hit. Just hit store after store. This is going to be fun. This gives me endless possibilities of testing. The one thing I find boring about testing is there's no challenge. I've literally snapped on camera one time because I was so tired of the certified screens, of testing them over and over again and again. And it's the same reaction every time we do the demonstration. We ask for a white screen, the screen pull this high white level. We ask for blue, boom, the screens just don't pick up. I'm like, what the freak is going on? Like, can we design something that's worth our challenge? Can we get something that's worth our challenge? You guys make $3,000, $5,000 screens. Can you give us a challenge? Make a black screen, for goodness sakes. It gets boring after a while, man. You have to understand. It's frustrating sometimes. You know it's going to pop up. Give me something that's going, oh, this is good. This is going to be a challenge. Give me something. But you're not giving me anything. And you may, at the end of the day, they don't care. And I know, I can understand. I can feel where they don't care. If your company's making millions and millions and millions of dollars, you don't care. Why would you? But if I hit your level, if I hit your platform, then what? Then you're going to have to come to my level. You're going to have to, because I'm going to see you eye to eye pretty soon. Why do you think I'm getting all this paperwork done? So we can go to showrooms where you guys are going to be at. Talking about you certifies that. So we can look you face to eye and say, where's your technology at? Because I'll complete, honestly, gentlemen, an Alpha 1 technology is beautiful. I walk into a showroom with that technology, I will level everything in that environment with no problem. Even my display would outperform you. We would have 10 times more light generating, hitting our screens while you guys be sitting in these ambient light controlled environments with these high-end projectors. And I'll do it at a projector that costs I got it from 2012. Matter of fact, I'll do it with my Chrissy LW505. I'll blow your stuff clean out of the water with an outdated old projector. That's going to be really embarrassing. So my advice to you, maybe you ignore me. Well, a couple of you haven't ignored me. You know who I am. I would strongly advise you to update your tech quickly. Develop a black screen, please. I need some fun. Give me something. I would strongly advise you. I got people that are going to be locking onto this technology. They're going to be investors. They're going to push our company to that next level. And as soon as my company grows to that giant status where I can see you eye to eye, this is where you're going to have some serious problems from my company. I know your technology. I've studied it for years. You got lazy. You got lazy because you're making all this money. You don't care. But what happens when a competition walks into your world that I can develop technology, not only at an extremely fast rate, mind you, it takes you 11 to 10, whatever years, I can develop this stuff in 20 minutes. In no time at all, pass all test demonstrations that you couldn't even begin to even pass, and I could wipe your technology out for far less. The consumer wouldn't even pay anywhere near to what they pay for your tech. You charge $3,000 for a projection screen. I've got technology over here under the 48s that can level your products with no problem and can do a screen at 160 inches at 32 ounces that costs my customers under $300. That's an extremely serious threat. Your fixed range screens, obsolete. Customers can go out and they can buy any cheap screen they want, and they can convert it into technology far more advanced than yours. Why do I want to go out there and spend $3,000 for a projection screen? Oh, buy me a cheap white screen coated with our technology and level your stuff with no problem. And do it with a projector that's far cheaper than your promo demonstration. Yeah, that's the threat we chose to certifies. So what do gray screens have for it? Absolutely nothing. So we need a challenge. A challenge. I feel like freaking Troy sometimes. Poke that freaking gladiator, whatever he was. He was a Viking. I think it was a Viking or barbarians, one of them. And that jerker went down to the ground. That's all you got. Is there any more? Is there any? So I feel sometimes. And people say, oh, you're just bragging. No, buddy, I'm not bragging, people. We're not saying call you a buddy. It's not bragging. It is the truth. The test demonstrations are right there on the page. No one else is displaying tests. The minute we sit there and make the mention about your product should be tested before you sell them, we got a whole bunch of angry merchants yelling at us like, that's not fair. You got to stay in your lane. No, we're in the right lane. We're in every lane is the right lane for us. If you did your products exactly like we did ours, then maybe the customers would get a better product at the end of the day, and they wouldn't feel like they got cheated in the process. All right, let's get going. Because you see I'm already hyped up. You know what hypes me up? Those screen paints don't hype me up. It's the certifiers that get me hyped up. I love the certified screens. It's such a challenge. Well, not really anymore. Same old boring demonstrations. I really go through this crap all over again with the Alpha 1s. I'm not saying their technology doesn't work. Yeah, their technology works. Their gunmetal technologies are way more advanced than the gray products on the market. They're far more advanced than them, easily. That's why you don't see them doing demonstrations against their products, because in the end, they can't be in the same environment as a gunmetal screen. It just can't. They're not going to work. Gunmetal is a much darker screen, pulls much better color, and on top of that, they can maintain environments that a gray screen paint can never be in. That's why you never see them do tests under those screens. That's why. If they do a test on the certified screen, I bet you $100, bar none, that they will be in a dark environment when they do that demonstration. You know why? Because that gray screen, that gunmetal, can produce in a fully lit environment where their screen can't do this. That's why every demonstration you see, but anyone testing any form of certified screen under gray screen paint products, they're always in dark environments because the screen has a problem picking up. That's why. They try to make it seem like you have to be in a you have to be in a dark environment. No. You guys are going prehistoric on us. You don't have to be in dark environments. The P2 did the demonstration on their promo, and their promo demonstration was in a fully lit environment. How come you're not doing the same demonstration as the P2 in a fully lit environment? And every time we see that and we request that, oh, great goodness, if I had $1 every time I mention this, I'd be a millionaire by now. One of the things we don't see is when we see these people trying to project in fully lit environments, again, your environments are too dark. I can't explain that enough. But not only with a little bit of light you have in there, you will stick to colors, a lot of vivid colors, because this is something that will fade less. Guess what? Network gray, any gray screen paint will have the same reaction. You know what reaction gray screen paints will also have? If you stick it in a fully lit environment and you show contrast, they come up gray. They don't come up black. Any house paint does the same reaction. That's why a demonstration we saw in a certain video where a person was projecting an OLED horse, he thought he was pulling a contrast level. No, you weren't, because the black bezel that was going around your frame was black and it didn't match your screen. Neither did your speakers. The only thing that did match the screen was a gray skateboard in the environment and a gray couch. That's it. If you're pulling up black, it's going to match black. That's what's going to match. Black is black no matter how you look at it. That's why we request the pour out. Companies request pour outs too. So pour outs where you take everyday black paint and take your paint, you pour it out, you can show they're basically the same shade. They request that. All right, let's go in there. I had somebody saying, well, your black is a different shade of black. Okay, let me explain this one again. Good gracious, the people look, for God's sakes, just slide the rock back and just go out into society and see how the real world actually functions. If you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, any company, you go to and say, hey, can I get a gallon of black paint? First thing they're going to ask you is, what shade? You know, black paint comes in multiple shades, right? It's not just all black. It comes in multiple shades. They literally have a black paint called Crow. They do. Just crack a great book, for goodness sakes. Shades of black. There you go. These are shades of black. These are different versions of shades of black. You got midnight, you got jet black, you got cool black, you got black, you got onyx, you got all of them up there. They make different shades of black. Did you know that? I know my customers know this, but literally from some of the people I talked to at the end of the day, I swear I said, look, do me a favor. Go on Amazon, order yourself a crowbar and slide back that giant rock you've been sitting underneath for the last 20 years and just have a look. See what the real world is all about. Gee whiz, Louise. Now, not to my customers. You know, my customers get offended sometimes. Like, no, this is not towards you. You know. That's why you're on my site, because you already know. You educate yourself. That's why my site's designed that way, to educate our customers. Even for those who don't know and just learning, the site is designed to educate you, not give you little bits and pieces of information that, again, doesn't even add up to anything at the end of the day. There's nothing on the site. It's information all there for you. As a matter of fact, I got to push in more information today. All right, let me get this done because I'm getting the certified screen's got me hyped up. You always get me hyped up on the certifies. I love doing the test there. Certifies, like I said, they work. Certified screen will blow out a freaking. If someone's coming there with a great paint and they said their product's the best of the best, no, you're not. You got to go near. You got to go past the gunmetal technology before you can get that claim, and we can knock out gunmetal. So then you have to go toward us. So how in the world you're saying that you're beating us, but you haven't taken on gunmetal? Because we can knock out gunmetal. See, there's a problem there. Let me see. Okay, this is all done. This is going to be done because I've in a good way. It's not saying it's he's not out on my desk. He's not going to be up here, but I was going to change this anyway because I wanted the infinity stars to come up in here. We didn't have this. It was just in plain. So I like it this way. So make sure we save all this. All this is saved. All this is done right here. That's finished. We have a gamer section on here. We're going to be putting on here because one of these is gamers. This is going to be a section for gaming. This is going to be a section here for cinema right there. So we got some artwork we want to work on today. I have some artwork on a hookup. And also on top of that, I have to, let's see, let's just set the platform for the gaming and let's set the platform for the cinema. That's what we want to do. So this section right here, did we expand this section? I think we did. Did we expand? We're going to quick edit and see if we expand this section right here. Let's see, we'll go over in here and expand that right in there. Right there, done. All right, that's finished. That's done. All right, that's done. That's the whole section done. Okay, let's come out of this. We do have artwork we're going to put in here. All right, and I think I'm going to expand the gaming to 2 pages. We most likely what we do is these are showrooms. So the showrooms, when a customer is asking about the product, we just launch an entire showroom. We just send them over the entire showroom. It's huge because they can go in there and they can get tons of information on the products on here. This is what we like about the showrooms. And there's tons of videos on it. There's product specification sheets on it. There's pricing. There's all kinds of stuff in the showroom. And these showrooms have links that will allow you to go over to the original shopping carts and buy right from there, which has more links in there to show you what it's going to look like. Oh, bouncing the crap on my stand. Sorry about that. To show you what it's going to look like on 1,000 lumens. It's going to look like on this, but it's going to look like on that. So you get to see other tests on there too. Then we'll be adding some more to the test demo page too on top of that. The alphas will be on there. But the showroom just has a little bit more glit and glamour to it. You know what I mean? That the customer can see something pretty cool, you know, while they're looking at, whether they're looking over the technology, when the page should be interesting. We want it to be fun. We want it to be entertaining. So, oh, cool, that looks right there. It's got kind of a Roman kind of empire kind of design to it. You know what I mean? Then we got the massive specification sheet. Yeah, it's pretty massive sheet over there. And we got some cool graphic designs in here for brilliant color applications. What does the R stand for in the container? Which means it stands for rarest, and the specification rules and policies under that particular title right there. We're using a new form of technology called the new 57. That's the category class of it, of the game technology we're using. That's why we have on the bright white to push out to give you that vision that, oh, it's bright. You know, we want these pages designed to immerse our customers into our technology so they can feel the same thing that we're trying to project to them, that we're trying to get them to understand how this technology is going to work. And that's what I love about the display pages. They bring the product to life. It's like, you know, when we would build entire environments for a screen, you know, I want to, like I said, for instance, when I went into a couple of dedicated forum sites, and the guy clearly said, well, you can't talk to me at the end of the day because you don't have a dedicated theater. And you know what? He was 100% right on that. So we built a dedicated theater room. We didn't finish it, but we already built one with the black walls and everything. And we were able to go in there and show him why our technology is better in a dedicated theater room, because we had to build a better dedicated theater room for them. The only thing we were missing out of the room was seats. That was it. That was all. Just never got around to getting the seats and raising the platform for the floor. But other than that, screen, curtains, all that stuff was put in there. And you can watch those demonstrations, and it clearly shows you why you do not use gray screens. You don't use certified screens, and an environment versus a black technology, because our screen's going to pull the better contrast level. It's going to be to maintain its white levels, which we showed you in all demonstrations under that product, which I'm going to be posting more demonstrations. Oh, I forgot. We got a bunch of demonstrations under dedicated screens. Oh, we're going to be busy. So I'm put a whole section in for dedicated screen displays, test demonstrations. Also, too, we did demonstrations and dedicated setups on something called light splash or splashing light. This is where your projector, even if your environment is dark, your screen can literally hit the white screen, and the white screen is going to project white light to the ceiling and walls. It's not going to be absorbed, and it shows you how badly the images come out. Oh, that's Mr. Man again. Oh, we got so many test demonstrations to display. I'm going to be busy for the next couple of weeks. So we're just going to be dropping tons of videos down of test. That's why I told you guys at the end of the day, you naysayers, you can never catch up to us. Never, ever, in a million years, couldn't catch up to our technology. You're already in there bickering and complaining already about a 48. We got a 57 already, a launch in 2023. I told you, I have technology beyond 57. Do you know how advanced our technology is? We have technology already engineered for 2 years from now. You guys are so far behind, and you're still working at that prehistoric gray. Mind you, the Patriot is not gray. It's silver. It's a high-grade silver performance screen. You know why we chose silver? Because silver is much better than gray. And guess what that's going to have to go through? It's going to have to go through multiple silver screens. And one of the most advanced screens I've had going against a silver screen is the Seymour AV 1.3, which is extremely good. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So that's why I said, yeah, the Black Diamond, Dragonfly, we consider those to be very nice screens. We like them. The Dragonfly looks a lot like a Black Diamond, to tell you the truth. But we like that technology right there. But message to you, gentlemen, your technology couldn't even touch our technology. You have three options. I said people have three options when coming against our technology. You can ignore us, which some of them do, which just certifies most of them do that. You could basically put our money back in our account because you know darn well you cannot ship that product down here because it is going to fail miserably. Or you can send the product down and watch the fate of your product. That's the only options you have. Well, no, we have a third option. Fourth option. Fourth option is we've had some people email us and say that they didn't want us purchasing their products. Enough said. Not a problem. No problem with backing away. I'm not that type of person at the end of the day. If that's how you feel. We're definitely going to get that from a lot of gray screen paints. I can see that coming right now. You can email us and tell us, and we're not going to post the email, none of that. That's strictly confidential between me and you, and that's the end of it right there. I'm just going to say on camera that they're not interested. That's it. That's all we need to be done. That's it. Let me see. Oh, where are we at in this? We already did that. We did the whole section. We got to do the editing for the gaming. So I want to expand that page. Is this somewhere? We're definitely in this one right here. Okay. So we're going to expand this for gaming. So I'm going to put another section in here. You know, we have that section. We want to expand that section. We need to expand under that section. We have here. That's good. I need to expand under that section. Let's take this out. Where are we getting an expansion under the section we already have? All right, let's just put something in here for the time being. We'll put a dummy, something in here for the time, like a dummy sheet or something in here underneath this one. The galleries are huge. They're massively huge. This is one where actually, the rest of them have to be updated. Ad tech, or invisible technology, is going to be updated. We have a we're going to do a pre-order for that. Mind you, keep in mind those are for companies only. So if you don't have a company, we can't sell it to you. but it's for companies only. We got people already acquiring it from Australia and UK. And yes, I have a good friend of mine who basically does business in Dubai, and she's going to get the product over there on display over there. It should pick up really big over there. They'll love it over there. So that we are working on. We do have price range is going to start from $1,000 and up for that technology. But like I said, that is for companies only. So we're going to start the process of basically updating that page. I do want to do, because we just have our advertisement, but I want to do advertisements where we're going to basically set up nice samples for storefronts around here, we'll paint a nice little screen up in there and set up a projector for them. They'll sign some waivers and NDAs and blah, 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 and all other crap like that. And that's why we need to show that our company is licensed. Yeah, that's why it's important. Show that our company is licensed and we have LLCs. Our company is legit, because they're not going to allow anybody just to walk off on the street and just basically, I forgot I got to get insurance too. Got to look into that too. We need insurance for our company. So I need to go look into insurance, how to pay for the insurance started for our company. Because again, you want to make sure you're also licensed and bonded before you walk into anyone's establishment and spray something in there. Some stores will just allow you to set up because they just want to see the reaction. And that'll give them a sample of seeing how the design is. And mind, the stuff that we make does dissolve, so not a problem to remove it. But anyway, that'll give them a chance to check it out. And then they'll have to go on the waiting list because we have a lot of people interested in that technology. Why are we not getting... Oh, that's why, because there's nothing here. That's why it's bouncing us somewhere else. Okay. We'll put something there for the time being. That's what I'll have to do. I'll just put a simple, we'll put black. No, I'll just change it to black in there. We'll put something crazy in there. I'll put down gaming display coming soon. That's what we'll do. Make it a lot easier. What do we got here we can put in this? It's good for the background because it's just going to keep repeating this. It won't give me another one unless that one's filled with something. So we'll take image. Got some image from some stuff I'm going to put in here. I want to redesign it the way I want it, but I'll put it in for the time being. We have to do an upload for this or something brand new we got. Gaming on this is going to look sick, insane. Yeah, that's why I can understand people saying, yeah, how are you doing Call of Duty on a gray screen? What the heck is up with that? You can't do Call of Duty or any of those games. They require contrast levels. If I can change my contrast levels, yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to show you some demonstrations on that. We're going to bring in a calibrated projector. And with the calibrated projector, we're going to show you why this is not going to work too well for you. It's the same illusion as when they tell you that when you use pixel shifting technology, that you're compressing the pixels so tightly together that you're pretty much getting the illusion that you're seeing 4K. You're not seeing 4K. You're not even picking up native 4K. You're just being robbed at the end of the day. You're being told that you're going to pay the money for a projector that you literally could have gotten 4K for probably a little bit less than you just paid for a machine at the end of the day, because it claims, like Valve does that, it claims that it turned around and tells you that you're going to pick up a 4K application if you basically are going to be using pixel shifting. Guess what's going to happen when you stick that into a computer or anything that's going to read that, and it's going to come back and say, oh, you're not picking up 4K. It's not going to read it as if you're picking up 4K. It's not even going to read a register at 4K. So no, you're not getting that. But what the promise point where people jump on that projector is because it says you're going to get a 150-inch screen. That is a huge freaking lie right there. You will never get a 150-inch out of that because your image is going to deteriorate. How? And I've had this conversation with people in forums before. How in the freak are you going to sit there and compress an image if you are maxed at 150? Where are you getting the extra pixels to compress? So what's going to happen is your image is going to pop up. It's going to be distorted. It's going to be fuzzy. It's going to be unrecognizable because you don't have the full pixels to compress to get that sharper image. 100 to 120, you have a better chance of getting a much sharper image. Much better at 100. Not at 120, be still okay. Anywhere a little between that, you're kind of pushing it. But at 150, that is never going to happen because you literally don't have enough pixels to compress to get a sharper image if they're not there to begin with to even give you 4K. Just simple and plain. It's basic common sense. What you have is a native 720p projector. That's what you have. Literally, I have a screenshot where I had a conversation with the person who developed, not developed, I don't think he developed, but one of the people that were spokes for the valve projector had this conversation with them and finally got them to admit, after enough people were pressuring them, to say what it was. It's a native 1080p projector that has the ability to compress. That's it. So you literally could have went out and just bought an Optima GT 55 or 56 at 1080p. That's what you could have paid for. Or you just went out and just spent money for a P2, which at the time was $3,300, and this thing was like $4,000, like $4,100 for this machine. And you could have just went out and bought a P2. At least it would have gave you native 4K, and you would have had laser on top of that. But this projector also was claimed to be laser. And one of the problems I had with the projector at 150 inches, what it claimed, everybody else who had the projector was never at 150 inches because the image would deteriorate, it would have issues. On top of that, the lamp source was a complete lie. There's no way in the world that thing was 5,000 lumens. A couple of inches from a screen at 5,000 lumens, you have any idea how bright that environment would have been? You would have never had to turn lights on in that environment at 5,000 lumens, that close. And I deal with 5,000 lumens, long throws, and they're bright. Imagine being a foot away from a screen at 5,000 lumens. So that was another lie right there. So one of the problems you're going to have when they're people are getting like, oh yeah, because I can get 150 inches. Guess what? Any ultra short throw projector will give you 150 inches. Anyone. We've done them already multiple times. I got a projector over here that I purchased. It was $60 and I was doing 150-inch display. I was showing contrast levels and colors and blowing out different screens all at the same time in a fully lit environment with no problem whatsoever at 150 inches. Any projector will do it. The problem is the reason why only black screens will allow you to have 150 inches, and people sit there and say, oh, that's, oh, well, I'll explain to you why. A gray screen is automatic, or white screen are automatically going to have an issue at 100 inches. We've seen that already before in demonstrations when we looked at how many people could match the promo demonstration under the P2. The reason why that even if you're a foot away from the screen, your lumen count isn't an issue. You're literally pushing so many lumens on the screen that you're actually washing the screen out. So you're adding additional light to your screen that's already having an issue with the additional light you have in your environment. This is why we can't find a match the promo demonstration. If that was the case and a gray and white screen had the ability to be able to produce at a fully lit size or 100-inch or 120-inch size in a fully lit environment, you wouldn't see so many of them sitting in the dark. The problem is not the lumen count. The problem is that the screen can't maintain its contrast and color. And if you can't see contrast, guess what falls with it? Color doesn't pick up. And if you're claiming your screen pulls a really high white level, then you just should have went out and just bought a white screen. Saved you some money because they both do the same thing. Neither one can see contrast or color correctly. If you're told to calibrate, that's another red sign, a red flag telling you that your screen can't see color correctly because you literally have to calibrate your projector to see a decent image on a screen that a projector has no problem producing on to begin with. Yeah, there's a lot of red flags popping up around there. So no, a gray screen at 100 inches has an issue. A white screen at 100 inches has an issue on an ultra short throw, and try expanding that to 150 inches. You do know the bigger the screen, the more light the screen's going to take in. So that's a faster chance of your screen washing out, even faster, because now you have 10 times more light generating to the screen. There you go. Where black screens do not have this issue. Gunmetals, darker gunmetals, really, really dark gunmetals, don't have that issue because, again, this is a screen that's designed to absorb light. So at 150 inches, I can watch movies, whatever I want, off this giant screen on a $60 projector that's sitting less than a foot away from the screen because I have to pull it back because it's an older projector. I'm at probably about 3 feet from my screen, and I can watch that with no problem on a 190-degree viewing angle while I watch my ceiling in the screen in the next room that's swinging in a bunch of bay windows. Because that black technology is designed to absorb all that light. Yeah, that's why. So that's the only way these screens are able, that's what they promise people. You're going to pick up, and you buy this projector for all this money, you're going to get a 150-inch screen. No, you will not get a 150-inch screen off that. And guess what? With our black technology, and we've proved this so many times, it's not even funny. We can go buy a $60 projector that has a 2,000-to-1 contrast, and this projector's been discontinued since 2011 or 2012, and we can get a 150-inch screen. I can even turn to the side, and I can pick that thing up with no problem whatsoever. So what is the issue? Yeah, that's a bunch of crapola. Crapola! Definitely crapola. spent all that money for a projector that you can't even see, a native 4K, and you really can't do 150 inches of what did you just purchase? Yeah, and then some people had problems where they couldn't even get through customer support with that nonsense. They were having issues with that. Now people sit there and say, Mr. Bird, you talk a lot. Can you back this up, what you're saying? Yeah, I can back it up. Yes, I can. You already know how I work. I don't speak about anything I can't back up. We know how the rules are, right? I'm going to show you something. It's going to blow you away. We show this to people every time. And keep in mind, Valve came to us. There's a couple companies that came to us you don't know about. Valve came to us in an email asking us if we could develop a screen paint to make their products look good in the showroom. And I told them that in order for me to do this, I want to see the projector firsthand. I want to get a chance to test it out. And they refused to send me the projector, so we turned them down. And I said, it's going to come back to bite you in the face because now your customers are going to get that projector. I know it's going to happen, and they're going to complain. So let me show you if Mr. Bird is telling the truth about having the talk with Valve. You see that right there? That's a screenshot from my cell phone. Let me blow this up for you a little bit in here, and I can tell you the conversation we're having here. Because I thought that was a load of crap, to tell you the truth, honestly. You're not going to sit there and tell me from the door that that projector does native 4K. You lost your freaking mind at the end of the day. You're going to have that conversation with me. Here we go. I'll bring it a little closer to the screen right there. So that's the conversation we had with Valve before they banned us off the site. See, Valve is a 1080p projector, pixel shifting projector, which can receive and display 4K images. It has a single chip DLP, which pixelates shifts from 1920, 1080 to 3840 to 2160. No. It is a 1080p projector. That's what it is. The conversation I had with him, and I got him to push and say it. I had a whole bunch of other people in the room that popped up that were actually backing me up on this. Even at 4K images, the native resolution is 1920 by 1080, meaning you're using a compressed 4K, but you're using compressed 4K, but you're advertising that it is 4K, and it's not 4K. And I give them the pixelation for 4K. As you know, 4096 by 2160 is more higher than the 3840 by 2160. That is actually 4K right there. That's a more higher advanced version of 4K compared to that. Most projectors come with the 3840 2160, but the more expensive versions come with 4096 at 2160 pixels. So if you go to the website clearly says it doesn't give a pixel count. The website gives 4K. That's all it says when you go to the website. It doesn't give a pixel resolution count. It just says that it's 4K. Doesn't sit there and tell you that it's 3840 by 2160 or 4096 by 2160. It doesn't say that. It says 4K. They can't give you that pixel resolution specification due to the fact that they don't have it because it's a 1080p projector to begin with. So these people literally went out and coughed up the money for a $4,100 projector, 42 at the time when they were costing, for a projector that is basic 1080p. That's what they paid for. And they're all blown away thinking they're going to do a 150-inch screen, when really technically you can't use a 150-inch screen if you're using pixel shifting technology, because where are you going to get the extra pixels if you're maxed at 150? You have to be to compress. You can't expand and compress at the same time. It doesn't work that way. So you'll have to drop it at 100-inch, maybe comfortable area be 120 to get it to compress, but still, all in all, you just paid for a projector that's not native 4K. There you go. That's why they hate me. That's why these companies can't stand Mr. Bird. Well, good. Because I consider the Valve projector to be a scam projector. That's why we don't support them. That's why. And we've had customers who have bought and had the Valve projector, and they believe what they're reading off this projector is 100% legit, and they'll go buy our products, and then the screen will come up black, and they can't see it because we advise them that our products only work on real projectors. And I know they'll get out there and they'll say, but my projector is real. No, your projector is not real. If you look at Black Diamond, any one of these high gunmetal technology screens, you will never see one of those projectors in any of their demonstrations. They won't even display them in there. Even if they paid them, they wouldn't put those projectors in there. They don't pick up. They don't pick up on high performance screens. They only pick up on cheap screens. Gray screens, light gray screens. They'll pick up on silver screens like the Patriot. The Patriot will pick up on that easily. The Patriot will pick up on any knockoff projector just about with no problem. But again, the Patriot can't see contrast levels like a black screen can pick up. It's not going to pick up the same colors as a black screen. Black screen is going to pretty much crush a Patriot with no problems whatsoever. It's going to do things that a Patriot will never be able to do. We know that from the door. I'm not going to come on camera and tell you because we're developing a high-grade silver. Yes, the high-grade silver is going to be more advanced than the silver screens we have out there, but it will never beat black technology. Not by far. Can't do it. But it'd be much better than the stuff you're buying now and much cheaper. That's what the Patriot will be. But anyway, yeah, it's just to satisfy those people who basically are still into those gray screens. And this will also help out customers who basically have these projectors. At least they can get something of what they paid for out of their projector much better than what they're dealing with now. Because right now, they can't even use what they're using right now. Most are using white screens and some kind of house paint product. They can't even produce in fully lit environments. A 2.0 can pick up in a max out zone at 1,000 lumens, which 3-hour demonstration display. I'm going to put my demo page back in on that one. But yeah, I've done that already. I've talked with these companies and all that stuff. Yeah, don't waste your money. That's all. And I heard that I don't know about that. This is what I heard, but I'm not saying I know 100% if it's true or not. But I got to call customer service myself and see what it's like before I make that notion. But I heard a few people had some really hard times getting through customer service just so they could return the product or whatever. That's why I just say you buy some. Just buy it through PayPal or PayPal. It's a much easier way to go about it. You have to go through all that craziness. Let's see, what are we going to put in here? I want to put something pretty cool for our gamer display. Let's see. Something cool we're going to put in that background. We can use this right here. I guess they're going to tile it. Let's see. What's this called? Gaming is not a crime. Well, I do like that one. That one's pretty nice. We'll use one right there. Looks pretty cool. I think I need real crazy wallpaper. I need dark wallpaper. I know I download some dark wallpaper. I have to do some artwork for this page. See what we'll put in. We just need something here for the time being. BR guess. We could do this. Yeah, I like that one. It's all black anyway. It's pretty cool. It's a nice design to it. See how this one comes up. Yeah, it's a lot, people. It's a lot. For those of you at the end of the day that are listening to this and thinking, gee whiz, this sounds too overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It's very easy. Very easy to do. Our technology makes it easy. You don't have to go out and pull your hair out trying to figure out what projector to get. Do you have enough contrast? Do you have enough color? Do you have to calibrate? Does it have to be ultra short throw? If you have ultra short throw, do you have to have a special screen for ultra short throw? It's the headaches that people go through. If I have it in a well-lit environment, can I have it next to my windows? Can I have my lights on? Is my screen going to wash out? Is it going to fade? I don't want to be stuck in a dark environment. You know, this is stuff people have every day and they think about it. I don't want to spend tons and thousands of dollars for a projector that's going to have me trapped in the dark. They don't want to go through this. This is why some people say, you know what, I'm just going to buy a TV. I don't have to deal with that crap at the end of the day. The problem you have with the TV is the fact that you're going to spend a lot of money. You're still going to spend a lot of money. You spend a ton of money. With that black OLED look, that's going to cost you money. You want to do it in 4K or whatever, that's going to cost you money. If you basically want a bigger size, it's going to cost you money. There's no way in the world you're going to get a 100-inch screen in your house. It's going to be under in the price range of what you'll pay for screen paints. Not even for certified screens. No, wait. Yeah, certified screens. Yeah, certified. No. Heck, what the heck? I'm thinking about that. Here, hold on for a minute. Yeah, you're pretty much going to be paying for almost the same thing. No. I've seen worse. 100-inch screen and a TV, you would still come out cheaper than a certified because you're talking about a screen that can easily cost you, if it's OLED technology, you're talking about an easy for 80 inches, about a good 80,000, 90,000 easy. Easy. Even if you get it for 70,000, you're still going to pay some money out. That's way more than what you'll pay for when it comes to a certified screen. But it depends on what kind of projector you're going to need with that too. If you're going to do 8K, an 8K projector would cost you around $10,000. I did the research. So it's $10,000, and if you want with a screen at our caliber at 160, probably talking about 300 without the sale would be about $360 something. So you'd still be cheaper than go out and spend a black screen, a black TV for around an OLED for around 80 inches. You'll be at somewhere between close to about maybe $70,000 to $80,000 easy. At 8K, probably way beyond that, probably a little higher than that. I'm talking about, it's probably 4K status. 8K, you'll be a little higher than that, way higher than that. So you'll definitely be paying some money. And you'll still have that small screen size. And then I can't explain this enough when people come to me like, yeah, but you're saying your product is OLED-like. Yeah, because it's black. That's why we call it OLED-like, because it's black. And so once you compare it, well, actually, we actually are much better than the OLED because, again, by price, again, you don't have to worry about a dead pixel issue because they do have dead pixel issues with those particular TVs. Not all of them, but they do have some issues that do pop up on them. I see people calibrate those TVs, which I still can't figure out why you got to do that at the end of the day. I can't get that one wrapped around my head correctly. And then on top of that, we're far cheaper and our screens are much bigger. And then when you're watching 16:9, 235 or 16:10 format, you are literally getting that from a projector. You cannot get that from a TV unless you spend some money. Your TV, when people sit there and say, well, my TV does 16:9. No, it does 16:9 format. If you look at 16:9 on a projection screen, it doesn't have little bars at the top and the bottom. It's the full screen. That's full 16:9. When you do this on a TV, you get a bar here and a bar here in the bottom. They call that cinema mode. No, that's called, you can't pick up 16:9. That's what it's called. Just like if you take a screen that's 16:9 and you put 235.1 on it, you're going to have the bar here and here. It's in cinema mode because it can't register. The screen is not designed to do a 235.1 setting. But if you take a 235.1, you don't have any bars at the top and the bottom. It's just a screen. So you're just watching a formatted version on 16:9 at 235.1, such like a TV does not pick up 16:9, but they do make them, but they are god-awful expensive. That's why when the movie comes up, it says it's formatted for your TV or viewing pleasure, wherever they got it. You're not picking up. And the bad thing, when I tell people about why gray screens are considered to be obsolete, and even with the Patriot, you're still going to have to do the same thing because it's a silver screen. When you watch 235.1 on a screen, like say you have a screen that's 16:9, you want to do a 235.1 setting on it, you can do it on it, no problem. But the issue you're going to have is you're going to have this black frame around your screen, and then you're going to have a gray bar here or a white bar here at the bottom. Because again, you're going to have to go down, and I think Silver Ticket has this option. They have these curtains that you can slide across here and here to get the black bar look. Can you imagine that? You got to hook up curtains to your screen so you can slide them across, because the screen can't pick up a contrast level correctly. You have to see these little gray and white bars going across your screen, then this black frame. You literally just zebra your screen. Your screen looks like a zebra at the end of the day. That's what it looks like. Where our technology is 100% black, you don't have to worry about that. You can pick up those black bars regardless. You can change that screen out. That's why I had a screen set up upstairs. We had multiple projectors fired off of it. We did 16:10, 16:9, 235.1. Every last one of them had a border already around them. When you do the vantage points, when you do a motorized projection screen, you got this border around it, right? And so your screen doesn't bleed out. It sits there right in that nice little corner. Now, they might take 2 inches here and 2 inches here. It means you lost 4 inches off your screen automatically. Well, and you lost 2 inches at the bottom too. I forgot about that too. So you lost 6 inches off your screen. When you have a black screen or black coating like we have, you don't have to worry about that border because you don't need it. You can literally just roll over that right there. I had an extra 2 inches for the top, so I got an additional 8 inches extra off my screen, because that border area that you can't use because you have a white and gray screen, we can use it because our parent products are black, which means now you have expanded your screen size to bigger. And if you want to put a border in it, you just shrink your screen just a little bit, a nice thin laser border that you can adjust the size that you want, than having this great big thick 2-inch staring you in the face. Yeah, isn't that interesting? We've done that. We had the demonstration. We actually converted the screen to a much bigger screen. Naysayers can't do. We're saying that there's gray screen paints can't do that. Now, what are we going to put in this spot? We got this spot. Okay, we're going to take this right here. I'm going to put this in this spot. Oh, we can take the whole section too. Yay. Yay. Take this whole section right here. Yeah. This is just for the time being. Excuse me. So we're going to expand our pages. I'm going to put down here. I want to get the whole name of it right here. We got it right there. 32 ounces. The gamer, right? Is this the gamer? No. That is the whatchamacallit. That's the benefit of black technology. Get more from your projection screen. I'm going to do me another motorized projection screen for the other house. I have my 3 motorized projection screens with me, but I am going to do an all black one. But if I do an all black one, I want it to be tabby. Definitely doing a tabby. We get ultra short throw questions all the time on motorized projection screens. We have them on display in here in the demo section. You can watch the displays on the motorized projection screens on a $300 Sony that I turned black. I'm going to do me another one and buy me a $200 projector. Change the chassis to the all black, probably throw some LED lights in there and probably swap out my fans for some neons. And then I'm going to use that for a nice little display piece. Probably use that for outside use. Let me see what I'm going to do here. Now I need to, I'm bouncing back and forth. Let's see. Oh, is daylight coming up yet? Oh, it's going to be time to go in a few minutes. We got to drop packages off. We have these right here for our customers going out over there. We have 2 gallons going out, and we have over there, that was a blessing, got 2 gallons going out. We have a projector we're shipping out to a customer for free, you know, because they need some help with a few things. I got plenty of projectors. I'm actually going to redo all my projectors. Get some older ones too on top of that, but the ones we already have, we've done them already. I wanted something new. So we're going to get some other stuff. All old projectors. We're not buying. We're buying, probably one projector is going to be brand new. All the rest of them are going to be from eBay. I'm getting old projectors. So I like using those because, again, it allows the customer to realize that at the end of the day, if we use an expensive high-end projector, that means the customer has to use an expensive projector. I explain it to people so many times in demonstrations that whatever projector that you see in that demonstration is the projector you're going to have in order to get that image. If they're in a dark environment, guess where you're going to have to be at? In a dark environment. Any way that environment looks, that's where you're going to have to use. So that's why we use older 720p projectors, because it shows the customer at the end of the day that they don't have to spend all this money for an expensive projector just to get an amazing image. That's what I tell them. There's no way in the world. That's virtually impossible. And for someone sits there and says, yes, you can, no, you're a liar. The reason why you're a liar, because when Black Diamond came out and they showed that $50,000 Sony coffee table, you mean to tell me that I can take a projector of 1080p that probably would cost me a little way less than $50,000 and I'm going to get that same image as that $50,000 machine over there? If that's the case, why did they even make a $50,000 projector to begin with if they knew the consumer can do it at a 1080p projector? What was the point? There must be something different about that projector that it costs $50,000. If that's the case, whatever that projector is projecting onto that screen, are you saying the screen's doing all the work? Because that's virtually impossible. So that screen's doing all that, and that projector is showing nothing? If that's the case, then again, there's no point in spending $50,000 for a projector if the screen's doing all the work. Then what's the point of having a $50,000 projector there to begin with? There's a difference. So that's why people, when they look at it, people say, well, gee whiz, I'm not spending 50 grand for a projector. There's no way in the world. Any salesperson is going to sit there and should tell you that, okay, look, you go buy this 720p, you go buy this 1080p projector, and you're going to get the same image as that $50,000 projector sitting up against that screen. That's a flat out lie. Because if that's the case, then why would Sony invest all that time and money in building that machine if they knew that the consumer can just go out and just do it for far cheap? That's a lot of money wasted. That's a bad investment right there. No, that image is coming from that projector. There's a reason why that projector costs that money and what it can do. It ain't just about speakers and all that stuff. That projector is a high performance machine. It pulls out an insane picture that you will never be able to pick up on your projector unless you have one like it or better. That's the only way it's going to work. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to cough up $50,000 for a machine. No, used now, I think they're like $24,000 used now. 24,000 used. That's why I tell people, when you watch people do demonstrations like the P2 being used over and over and over again, and demonstrations, you know who has a habit of doing that. You can't go out and tell a customer that they're going to get the same image if they calibrate their projector. They're going to pick up the same. No, that's crap. That's a lie. Because if that's the case, why would I have to go out and spend money for a P2 when I can just go buy a 1080p projector and calibrate it to whatever? I hope they don't say 4K, because that's never going to work. Or just get a regular 4K projector and try to calibrate it to that. But then again, if you're saying that you have to have a 4K to do that, then that means anyone with a 1080p or 720p, you told they can't use that product. So your product can't be 720p. Yeah, this is a bunch of bull. That's a bunch of bull. Where I can take a demonstration, I can show you that, hey, look, we can make a 720p look like a 4K. And for those of you saying that's not possible, well, demonstrations are right there on my site. We got them posted. As a matter of fact, there's some of the ones we're going to be posting next on the other site where we're going to be backing up our test. And one of the tests we did a 720p versus 4K, and they couldn't even tell which was which. We did a 1080p versus a 720p on this site right over here. You couldn't tell one was one from the other. One projector was 1,000 lumen, the other one was 5,000 lumens. One was a Sony VPL CS4 720p 600 by 800 res SVGA versus a projector that was a WXGA, WUXGA 5,000 lumens 1920 by 1200. You couldn't tell one from the other. Even at 1,000 lumens, that 1,000 lumen projector was able to maintain next to 5,000 lumens. Shows you how bright that technology is. And we did it in a fully lit environment, and we did it against certifieds to show you the difference. Now, let me see. Getting off track here. We're getting off track. There's just so much stuff to talk about, man, that they just don't tell you. A lot of these demonstrations, I'll be sitting there watching. I'm like, gee whiz, we're just completely just going to cut that whole part out. We're not going to talk about that at all. We're just going to, whatever. Let's see where we're going with this. My goodness. Just do the demonstration right. Let me see. We need this right here. Black Series there. No, 57. I need that right there. Did I put something on that page before we got over there? I think we did right here. That's why when you see them getting upset to me, oh, he talks a lot in his video. Yeah, I talk a lot in my videos because I know a lot. You don't talk a lot in your videos because you don't know anything. That's why. Like I said, same thing. If you got a person who's studying, let's see, quantum physics. So they're teaching a class on quantum physics, right? Teacher is going to have the shortest class of the teacher that doesn't know jack. And the teacher's going to have you in there all day long with this massive, giant, 12-foot chalkboard. And he's telling you about this and telling you about that because that's the teacher who knows what he's talking about at the end of the day. Person who enjoys what he's doing. He's not giving you a rush job at the end of the day. And talk about y'all about projectors all day long. When they sit there and talk about venue projectors, you jokers don't know jack about venue projectors. What the heck are you talking about? Could you tell me the difference between barcode projectors and Ronco projectors? Any difference, could you tell me? What about dual lamps? You know, projectors come with dual lamps. You know that, right? They come with a backup lamp. They're very expensive projectors, but they come with 2 lamps in the projector. Yeah. Okay, let's go over here and let's go into, now I guess they figured because they had, one of them in the demonstration had an NEC NP 1150. I've had 3 of those projectors. I had one at 43 and I had one at 5200 lumens. That projector is rated as a home theater projector. Some people think they're venue projectors. They're big, but not as big as a venue. But some people consider those to be like a form of venue projector because you can interchange your lenses on it. But you know, it's still considered a home theater projector. That's what it's considered to be, because that's what they have it marked at. Or the Sony VPO FA30, FA36, the FX31. Which they probably couldn't tell you the difference between those 3 projectors. There's a difference between the 36, 31, and 30, depending on what they're capable of doing. They all have twin mode, which they can do. They can do twin picture in picture, they can do. But each projector has a really special specification that allows the projector to be different than those model numbers. Now, if you look at them, they all look exactly the same. They do. Same thing like the Christies. Some Christies come with the bridge, like the LX100s, no, the LX400s all look alike. but there's a difference in the lens. One has a bridge, one doesn't have a bridge. The one without the bridge has a refined lens that's much more advanced than the one with the bridge. The one bridge has a standard throw lens, and the one without the bridge has a refined extended lens, which is much more advanced. It gives you a much more higher resolution, even though they're both 720p, but that one has a much more advanced lens than the other one. And the reason why you can tell one from the other, because they look exactly the same, but if you look at the front of them, one has a bridge that comes over across around it, like there's a bridge here, and one's missing. It's just completely just the lens exposed. Neither one of those. They are interchangeable lenses, but the problem is you have to go inside of that one. You have to remove all those fine pin ribbons. There's 3 ribbons in there you have to remove, and then you can disconnect. You literally have to take apart the projector to get to the lenses, where the other ones have ones we can just hit a button, like the LW505 or LW505s have something you can just hit and pull the whole lens out completely. Those are much easier to work with. Now, getting back to the Sonys, when you have the Sonys, they all look the same, but they're different. You have one under 31, you have one under 30, and you have one under 36. The ones that are 36 are 5200 lumens. They're all WXGA, but that one's a 5200 lumen. The rest of them are 43s, whether it be the 30s or it be the 31s. They're both 43. They both are WXGA. They're both 1920 by 1200. But the difference is they have something, these perks that these projectors have. Now, the Sony VPO FH30 has twin mode. They all have twin mode, but that's what that has. It has twin mode. You can watch 2 images at the same time on your screen. Twin mode's interesting too when it comes to those projectors, because some of them, the older ones, the really, really older ones, I think the NEC, even though that one's not considered to be venue, it does have twin mode on it. But the problem is some of the twin modes can be so old that it may require VGA and BMC. If you ever worked with BMC before, it is something else. But they do make an adapter for VGA to BMC if you want to do it that way. A lot of the projectors they have with CRT, those projectors, the older models, one big ones you see, they have the red, they have the green, and they have the red, green, and blue. Those are the big ones. They have the CRTs. Majority of those come with the BLC, BNC, but you can get BNC to VGA if you get an older model, because the newer models are quite expensive. They're not cheap projectors, and the shipping on them is nightmarish. It's like the equivalent of trying someone to ship you 3 vending machines. They're very expensive. But anyway, let's get back to the Sonys. So when you buy the Sonys, you're going to look at them and say, okay, what's the difference? Like I said, the VPO FH36 are 52s, and the other ones are 43 in lumens. But the FH36, what was the perk that came with that one right there? Let me see. No, it doesn't. Does it have edge bleeding? No, oh yeah, it does. It does have edge bleeding. It has edge bleeding software embedded into it. So that means instead of you going out and getting a program to figure out how to get 2 screens to blend together, that look like to get rid of that seam, so they simultaneously like one long screen, this projector does it with one hit, which means you take your controller and you hit that, and when it bling, it just does this flashing on the screen, and it blends easily. The 31s, not 31s, the 36s are extremely expensive if you can find them. I was lucky to get one, and I paid about $400 for it, and I only could get one of them. So for mine, didn't come with a standard lens. It came with an extended throw lens, which we'll talk about that another time when it comes to lenses. But anyway, so the projector I was looking for, let me see, had the edge bleeding? Does it have the edge bleeding? Oh, it does have the edge bleeding on it, but you can't hook the 36 and the 31s, you can't hook those. Oh, no. That one has portrait mode on it. That's what that one had on. It had portrait mode. All right. Let's back it up here. All right. And people are, you're confusing me. It's confusing, but you have to know it. If you're doing with venue projectors, you have to know it. There's things you have to know before you purchase a venue projector, because it can mean the difference of you paying thousands of dollars for lenses and lamps and all kinds of stuff, because like I said, it's a more high grade projector. All right. So basically the Sony VPL FH36 has edge blending technology. That's what that perk has. The FH30 has twin mode, but they all have twin mode, by the way. They all have it, but that one has twin mode too. It doesn't have anything special with it, just has that twin mode application, which all of them have. The VPL FH31 has something called portrait mode. So portrait mode means you can take your projector and you can turn it on your side, and it would automatically shoot anything in portrait. Now, for those who are saying, but I can do that with a projector and a computer. Yeah, you can. That's a cheaper way of doing it with a computer. If you take a projector, as long as it has a bottom area that lays flat, and it has a bottom area that we like. That's why I like the if you're going to do portrait mode, I like the LX 400 and the LX 100, because those particular Christie projectors have a handle on the other end and they're boxed, so you can just set it up. Those are the ones we use for portrait mode. And if you're going to do it on a computer, of course, you go into your computer, you hit your back button, you go into display, and you pull it up for you go into your settings for your graphic card, and you put it for portrait. That's how we do it. All right. Now, mind you, when you put it in portrait mode, your screen's going to slant a little bit. So that's why you got a keystone and lock it in place. And then with the lens shift capability on that projector, you can shift it where you want it to go without moving your projector around, because that can become a headache when you're doing it in portrait mode. I need to do one of those for the office anyway. I'll show you how to do it, but it's really easy. Now, in order for me to do portrait mode, I can only use the computer, because the computer will allow me to go in and manipulate the image and turn it. That's the only way I can do it. But when you have a projector that automatically does portrait mode from the door, you could run anything off it. You can run a PS4, PS5, whatever you want in the day. You could do it easily. The reason why you have to do it with a computer, because computer has that option where a console will not have that option. You can go in and change your settings that they have, and like, I don't know, but that's the only way I know PC you can do it. So it has to be a computer anytime you run that, because you have to be able to manipulate it from here. Where with the projector that can automatically do portrait mode, you could pretty much put anything in there and it will pretty much hit the full screen. Now, one thing too, on top of that, if you're doing portrait mode on PC with that projector, not all videos are going to come in with that portrait mode design. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a little screen here and the rest of the writing down here. And if you hit it in full screen mode, you're just going to have a screen here. You have to find special videos that they have on YouTube that do the portrait mode displays, like on cell phones. That's what you need. And that's how we're able to get the images to push in there like that. Other than that, you can't do it. Now, if you have a projector that automatically does portrait mode, it doesn't make a difference what you have up there. It's all going to land in portrait mode, because that projector has that capability. That's why the rarest projector to try to get your hands on is the FH31. Those are the ones that automatically do portrait mode right from the door. I've been tracking one down for quite some time, and I can't seem to find one. But I will get one, because I want to see what they're like. That's the difference between those right there. It's a lot, ain't it? There you go. That's why I said when I hear them talking about venues, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know the difference between which projectors are which at all, period. Let's see. Let me put this in real quick, and we're going to go pop over to eBay real quick and see if we can give you a visual idea of what you should be looking for. These are the kind of videos I'm supposed to be doing for our link page. I'm supposed to be putting tutorials in there and showing you how to shop for projectors. One of the projectors you do want to stay away from, but if you got deep pockets, knock yourself out, is barcode. Barcode projectors are crazy, insane for parts. They're not cheap. You're talking about people gripe over spending a good $300-400 for a lamp. You try $1,500 and up. That's what you'll be spending for one. And that's how bad it'll be. Let's go over here and let's change all this out real quick. I'm just going to show you this real quick, but I want to get this right here already set up and ready to go, and then we'll pop over there, because this will never get done. So I'm going on and on with this. But I like to help people along the way. If you're a church or a company, or maybe just want a bigger and more powerful projector for outside, you can get plenty of nice venue projectors. It won't cost you a ton of money. Just got to know what you're buying. Oh, we don't need all that. Why do we get that in there? We don't need that. We need to change out our font. Let me see. Let's get right here. There we go. That'll work right there. And that'll get us ready and get us set up for this section right here. This will be pretty easy. I'm just going to turn this to black. No, I'm just going to stop right there. I got to come back in later on. I got to go to the post office and get this stuff done. So let's get that done right there. I'll leave that because you can't see that until I publish it. Let's go pop over to eBay real quick. eBay. I need to find me a Steel Battalion controller. I need to find me another one. I want one so bad. Another one. I got one in the box that's mint. I'm not opening it. Not ever. Maybe one day. I don't know. All right. Let's go over here and let's go take a shop over to eBay real quick. Let's go pop over here. And we are going to look for Sony VPO. Sony, got my caps on, don't I? Yep, VPO. I think I got one in here. VPO FH31. These are the new ones right there. FH31. It's a pain in the butt to find this thing. Watch it come in here and they have it. They have it and buying it. I am definitely going to buy it right from the door. The buyer is away. Oh, of course. Of course the buyer is away. What does he have here? The buyer is away, but isn't the FH30. So the problem is you have to make sure it isn't FH30, 31. If it is. Some people have stuff in here, they don't know what they got. And even if it says, the tricky thing about this projector right here, even if you go to Projector Central and you put in BPL FH31, you put it in here, all of them have similar specifications. They just have that one little specification that makes them different from the rest, but they all do the same thing. So for one has 52 and the other ones have 43 in lumen counts, but they all have twin mode. They all do the exact same thing. They just have one little perk. One does edge blending or edge bleeding, where you want to put it. One does the portrait mode. That's the issue you have there. Unless that projector is saying it right there on that serial number, that's the only way you're going to know. If he flipped it over, that's the only way you're going to know. Let's see if he did a flip over on this projector. Because there are, even if it says FH31, it could be an FH30. Does he have it on the front? It has to be here somewhere. Give me this. Oh, you better not be toying with me. Let me see what your chassis damage is. Marks I'm not worried about. There's nothing I'm worried about when it comes to marks. What I'm worried about is if I see a crack in the chassis, that's not good. Because these chassis are pretty heavy. And if they drop something on here that cracked the chassis, what about the lens? That's not an extended throw lens, okay. Yep, that's a regular zoom. Had a little scratch right there. I'm not worried about that. I thought that's nothing. Has a standing bracket already attached to it. Mother George, yes it does. All right, I gotta move y'all guys over here. Right there. Keep you guys right there. Right there. Oh, we gotta change out our information. Gee whiz Louise. No. We're good. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Wait, what's going on with this? Before we do this, I want to see something for a minute. I'm gonna make sure 100% we're Gucci. Okay, delayed. We got plenty of time for that. I don't care. I don't need it right away. That's nothing. What the freak? Let me see. I wonder. Real quick. What the freak is wrong with that? That's $59. Are you kidding me? Ooh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Bird. I'm not paying that one for $69. I'm not doing that, no. I like venue projectors, but that can't be. 31s, there's 31s. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, 31s. Let me see how clean we got on this baby right here. Clean. $69. I don't kind of expect that. Not working for parts. I knew there had to be something wrong there. Not working for parts. There's no way in the world that projector would cost $59. There's no way in the world. That's the ceiling mount for $68. That is not the remote control for it. That's not the remote control for that projector. See the remote control we have here? It will operate in FH30. It will. It would operate the FH31. It will operate the FH36. The problem you have with this remote control right here is this remote control is about that long. And it's a little special button right here, right in this area right here. There's a little special button that allows you to hit that option. You'll see it when you hit it. Certain projectors without the remote controls, you cannot enjoy their perks. You can only operate them through the remote control only. You will never be able to operate them inside the option. Now, the edge bleeding, yeah. You can operate that. There's a one button and you can hit that for that. The other stuff you can do with that. But some of them you have to have that remote control with it or it doesn't work. Twin mode, you can't operate on that. It won't work. But this works more for that. I have a Sony Ultra Short Throw. This is the, I can't remember the model number, but this is basically remote control for that. I know that for a fact. Do not buy generic remote controls. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Buying generic remote controls, they don't work. Like stuff like this is a freaking headache. Don't even go near these replacement remote controls. They're headaches. I mean, if it works, if you need something that's going to turn the projector on and off and just for volume and maybe get the menu, then it's good. Anything else, you're never going to be able to use it. It's not going to work. You have to have that official remote control to go with it. So how do you know what remote control goes with your projector? Then you just take your projector, you put it in Google, and Google will bring up whoever had that projector with the remote control. Even the manufacturer will pop up showing the exact remote control that goes to that particular projector, and that's where you start your search on trying to figure out where you can find that exact remote control, which you're going to need. As for lamps, man, I'll tell you, we got to do tutorials on this stuff, man. There's so much stuff I can teach you on lamps. There's a whole world by itself on lamps, even not just for venues. For everyday projectors, there's an entire world for lamps. Lamps are very tricky. I buy all my lamps from Amazon. I stopped buying them from eBay because I had some issues. I had a lamp come in one time that was the nightmare of all nightmares, the lamp housing. And you get two different forms of how you can buy your lamps. One comes with the housing, which is much easier, because all you got to do is take out the housing, take it out and lock it in, you're done. And the other one, you have to basically take that little lamp area right there and disconnect that from the housing and put that into your housing over here. That's a headache, but they're much cheaper. But the problem you have with lamps, since we have 3D mapping, or not 3D mapping, we have 3D printing technology, some of these companies will 3D print the housing, which means it has to fit perfectly into that case. It has to be perfect in the case. If it's not perfect in the case, what's going to happen is it's not going to fit correctly. If you have to jam and shove that thing in there, you're going to damage your projector at the end of the day, and you may catch on fire. So you don't want to go down that route. You need to fit perfectly. And sometimes when they print them out, they don't basically do a good job of it, and it could be off by a couple of inches or whatever it may be, and it's not going to fit. I had one I bought in. I paid about $80 for the lamp. I tried to put it into the projector. It wouldn't connect. I went in and pulled all the screws out, thinking some of the screws might have been hitting something. It wouldn't connect. When I pulled, I'll show you the video. I'm going to show funny videos. When I pulled up the lamp, I noticed that the housing that connects to the power supply inside of the projector wasn't fitting because it was off by a couple of inches. That was it. And that's all it took for that lamp not to fit in there. So I had to go in and I had to remove the lamp. Some of them are done by screws on how they attach them. Some are done by soldering. So get your soldering gun out. If you're not used to using that soldering, dissolving, all that, then you're out the window. But anyway, you got to remove this from here. You got to take all the springs and the latches off the back of it, take it, disconnect it, put it back in, and do not touch that, for God's sakes, because then you will have a thumbprint on everything you watch on the other end. It's not easy just wiping it down. Just wear white gloves. Don't touch that ever. So anyway, that's another way you can do it. So that's what I had to do it. There was an incident where I bought something and they use soft screws. I call them soft screws. They put these cheap, soft metal screws. You go get them with a screwdriver because they put them in real tight. Maybe they put them in with a power screwdriver to become a little tight, and you put the slightest more bit of pressure on it, you will strip your screws. Then you're sitting there with a lamp that's stuck in your projector that you can't get out, but there's a way to get around this. I learned this when I was modifying the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, if you ever opened any one of these up before, you know they had these special kind of screws in there that you couldn't use a regular screwdriver to pop open. So what people were doing is, and I can't take the credit for myself, I got it from a YouTuber, where they were taking a rotary saw, the little bit saw, you have a little rotary on the end of it, and they were slicing the top of the screws to turn them into flatheads so they can stick a screwdriver in there and yank them out. Yeah, learn a lot of stuff when you mod stuff all day. Well, that's the time I was modding all day. But anyway, you do the same thing here. I had to slice the screw to make it into a flathead so I can pull it up. And keep in mind, you do get replacements with that when you have your other lamp. They give you replacements for that, so we just yank those out. So that's some of the stuff you have from the door you got to be careful about. So that's why I buy everything off Amazon, because I've had incidents where I'll buy something and it'll say, hey, it's being shipped from the U.S., and it'll take forever to get here, and a DHL truck will pop up at my front door and says, oh, here's your package. Like, so I stopped buying from here altogether. You don't have to spend $200. Now, if you're buying the original lamps, and original lamps can cost you money. Anytime you buy a venue projector anytime you buy a venue projector, you want to make sure two things you look at. How much is the lens going to cost you if you happen to crack your lens or damage it? Because some of these lenses come out and people drop them and they break them. And how much are the lamps going to cost you? Most likely you'll be looking for lamps. So if you went out and got yourself a, let me see, let me right here. Let's go get a crazy projector. It's got a barcode projector. Barcode, I'm saying the right projector. Bum, 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 bum. The trick of the barcode projector. There you go. $500. And you're looking at that thing, and that man, Ken, is only $500. I gotta get that lens. I get that projector. Your lens is missing. You see that right there? The lens is completely gone out of that projector. You know why? Because that lens costs more than that projector 5 times over. Anytime you see a lens missing off a projector, that means that projector's lens costs a lot of money. They make more money basically just selling the lens. When you buy a real venue projector, you buy a real 100% real venue projector, you do not get a lens. It does not come with one. Because the lenses on projectors are interchangeable. They can go from ultra short throw, long throw, standard throw. They can go for extended, a long throw. You can change out your lenses at will, even short throw. That's why you would never get a lens if you buy a brand new one. Somebody was building a movie company and they couldn't figure out when they bought the projector, it had no lenses with it because you had to buy that. That's sold separately. So get prepared to whip out that credit card and cough up an extra 20, 30,000. Maybe if you get it cheap, maybe you may get it for 8, maybe you may get it for 5. You know what I mean? Depends on who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with ultra short throw, whoo, yeah, you're going to have to pull up some money for that. You literally just bought a couple of motorcycles with that one. See right here, this is basically the barcode. This is the some of the plates in the back can be removed, like my peripheral, like my audio and video and all that stuff. I can actually slide that out back and interchange that if I want to. Some of them are $300, some of them are $89 just for that little piece right there. This is one for $650. Older model right there, $45 for shipping. $947 right there. Now let's see. This right here is the right here projector 11 watch. Now that people are watching this projector right now. See how little that little projector is right there? That little barcode projector. See how tiny that little thing is right there? How small that is? That's a small projector right there. Look at the price tag on it. They're not cheap projectors. They're very expensive. And this one is what? We got any 1080p on any 4K going on that bad boy? Let me see. He's got the right price for it. He's not joking. They do cost that much. Let's see. Just got all this information there nicely, correctly. It's a 1080p projector right there. But you want to be sure. This is where you start doing your research in, people. So we're going over to Projector Central. Projector Central. This is what I got to stay away from. This will help you out. This will let you know what you are getting and what you are not getting at the end of the day. There's also a nice, great site to go to if you're building customized screens. So you got a strange screen you got to put in maybe 136, 135. We get 135, 136, 137, something weird, or 235.1 screens you're building. This is where you go to. This will teach you how to build those screens for no problem. That's it right there. So we'll go over, and did we grab that one already on that barcode? I'm going to make sure that is actually coming up at 1080p. You have to be sure. Always check. Let me see. We got it coming in right here. It's got all the specifications in here. Payments on 1080p. Let's go get a copy of this. Let's go pop over here and see what we got going on. This is right 1080p. I learned this the hard way because I bought a projector and I thought the lens, they said the lens was short throw. I bought it anyway. I get it here. It wasn't a short throw lens, but it was a standard throw. It was a really big wide angle lens. That's what it was. But it wasn't a short throw lens. So now when I go and buy projectors, if they say it comes with a lens, I look at the model number because they'll specify the model number of that lens. You can go in and check it out and see whether or not it is short throw or ultra short throw. You can find out from there. Or if it's just a regular standard lens you just paid for. All right, so let me see specifications on this projector right here. All right, there's the projector right there. And this is we can get all our information. So yeah, it says right here, this is a full 1080p projector. So he is listing it right. It is a full 1080p projector right there. That's 1080p, people. That's not 4K. That's how expensive barcode projectors are. So it's not a 4K projector. A 1080p, one of those projectors would cost you as much as what you would pay for a regular projector, but this is a more highly advanced projector than any 1080p projector you may have sitting in your home right now. And it probably can basically go toe-to-toe with a couple of 4K projectors with no problem, because there's something about this projector that makes it much more advanced than the projector you have right now sitting in your home. He was like, but no, that's not true. Yes, it is true. It's very true. Very, very true. But that 4001 contrast, we wouldn't even need that because our screens are black, so we don't need that. That's good. Oh, that's a nice one too. Oh, 1080p. I'm not spending $4,000 for a projector, but we're just not going to do it. It's insane, even though I want a barcode. But I don't want to spend $4,000 for a projector. It's some craziness. We got things to do. I got to drop $6,400 on my place in a couple of days. So, yeah. And I got to furnish my place. So, my furniture's not exactly being cheap at the end of the day. A sofa cost $3,000. My sofa cost $3,000 for a sofa. Good gracious, what the freak. Yeah, if you want a cloud sofa that wraps around with a giant ottoman that can sleep about 4 people on it, and a $3,000 sofa. Good. I still can't believe I'm paying that much. That sofa costs more than anything I got in the house or in the apartment. Literally, I paid that much for a sofa. I couldn't find anything I wanted. I wanted a wraparound. I still got that vision. I want that big screen and that wraparound sofa. I want to be sitting there deep, but that sofa is not cheap. Look them up. The giant sectional, the cloud sofas, they're around like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I saw one for $8,000. I was like, that thing better come with freaking chargers and come with a free cell phone and whatever it comes with. But I saw one for $8,000. The cheapest one I found one. And I liked it too. The big deep cushions when you put in. I'm 5'11", so if I sit back on this sofa and my legs go up and they don't touch the floor, I'm a happy man because it's the kind of sofa I wanted. But that sofa is like $3,000. I'm gonna knock that sucker out. No time to get that thing done. I got a loan, another loan coming up because my loan's just about paid off. So I'm just gonna ask for a little bit more. Knock that sofa out because I don't feel like doing payments on that thing. All right, let's go over here and let's let's go back over here. That barcode ain't bad. Hey, what is it for? What you got on the bar? You ain't on my produce anyway. Crazy cat over here going. Your room is gonna be hooked up. I paid $100 for a freaking cat castle. Can't believe I even paid that right there for you. You probably won't even be there at the time. You probably be on the sofa most of the time, knowing you. All right, let me see. Yeah, it's not bad right there, but that barcode right there. $50. Oh, yeah, it's for parts. Where are we at in this section? Yeah. He's legit. He's definitely legit. His specifications read out. Yeah, for that little projector right there, $4,000 for that barcode. Right there. What else we got? Ooh, yeah. We're getting to the big boy machines. These are the monsters barcodes. Anybody got an extra $11,000 laying around? You can get this projector right here. No lens. You don't get the lens with this. I told you don't get the lens with them. The lenses are expensive. They'll pull that thing out in a hot second. You don't get the lens with those. Got to pay for that lens. Let's see what that lens is going to cost me. If I bought this projector, how much would I have to spend for the lens? And this is the right price for them. This is cheap. They're way worse than that. Way worse than that. Got a good 50, 60, 70, 100,000, $250,000 on you? You can go buy the brand new ones. They're not cheap. Let's go over and see what would cost me if I wanted to get a brand new lamp for this thing. Not a lamp. Well, the lamp would cost anyway. Who cares about that one? Let's go pop in we're on eBay anyway, right? We should be set up on eBay. There we go. I'm going to see if I wanted to get a lamp for this baby. What it would cost me if I got it on eBay. Because every place house is going to gouge the daylights out of me. I know it's going to be so much money for that if I go any place house. Let's see what it cost me if I bought the lens. If I need to replace that lens, what would it cost me? This is probably for standard too. For standard for the lens. Let's see, this is that's the 20. Mine's the 18. This is the 20. It's an HD 20. This is a zoom lens right there. Oh, gee whiz. Are you kidding me? Really? This is, all right, this right here is a lens right here. That whole section is your lens right there. Let me see. These are the projectors. Can we get a cheaper lens? That's a fisheye. That's definitely not for a projector. That is definitely for a camera. Why you have that there? $13,000. Gee whiz. Yeah, this comes with a cage on it too. See, that's a camera lens. That shouldn't even be there. That definitely should not be there. Why the freak would they even have that there? That's just basically trying to get over on somebody. That's a camera lens. That's not a projector lens. Projector lenses wouldn't have all this nonsense on it to begin with. Why would you even have this there? It's a Nikon at that. Let me show you real quick. Am I on this right here? You can see that I'm ranting about. This is a Nikon. Why would you put a Nikon camera lens in here to begin with? That's a camera lens. You can see it clearly. That's a camera lens. Projector lenses don't have all this nonsense on it right here. And then you turn around and there's the same lens right there. Gee whiz. Why are these even here? Okay. And I can see if it said barcode, but barcode doesn't make those. It can make cameras. Let's go bring this back a little bit and specify this a little better. Let's see. Let's go with barcode. I go here for fun. So let's go back. Go back. Barcode projector. Can you imagine if you got this thing in full 4K, what it would cost you? No matches. I'm not gonna find it. They're crazy expensive. Let me see if we can get one offline. eBay doesn't have it. Now, see what I mean? You'd have bought that projector for $11,000. You're not finding that lens on eBay because they can't find a match to match that projector. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit. Can you see where it says no match results? There we go, no match results. So let's go outside and let's see if we can track it down outside. See if somebody else has one. Because that's where you're definitely gonna have to go now. Oh, I'm buying it brand new. Hopefully someone got one used. Let's see. Spare parts. Specification. All right. Run some sticker shock for you real quick. You're talking about $3,200. You got a lens over here costing you a whopping $11,151.91 for a lens. I told you, anytime you see a projector and you see that lens missing out of it, that means they sold the lens. The lens literally costs more than the projector itself. That's why it's not in there. Nobody in their right mind, unless they're loony, at the end of the day, it's going to sell you a projector where the lens costs way more expensive than the actual projector. Now that person can pretty much easily probably get, like, depending on what kind of lens he's got. If he's got that one barcode at $11,000, he can probably sell that for a good maybe about $9,000. Somebody will pick that up in a minute because, again, they're going to be saving some money, a couple $1,000s. At 32, if he sells it for $1,500, he's still going to come up. If he sells it for $1,600, he's still going to come up. He sells it for $2,000, he's still going to come up. Even at $3,000, no, that's sorry, it's $2,000. Even at probably around, let's see, 28, he can still come up on that. Easy. And they'll buy it because guess what? There's no matches on eBay for that projector, which means they're going to go outside eBay to buy it. And the minute you go outside eBay, this is going to cost you a lot of money. A lot of money. So this is what you're talking about here. I told you lenses are not cheap for those projectors. You got to be careful with some of them too. Some of the merchants, not saying all of them, but some of the merchants will go in and turn the projector on to give it the illusion that the lamp is in there. Not the lamp, but the sometimes they turn the lamp projector on to show you that you do have the lamp with it. But sometimes they'll turn it on to give it the illusion that you basically have a lens in there, and you don't have a lens in there because there's 4 screws. Some of them have the 4 screws, but you should be, if you see a screw here and screw here and screw here, that means that lens is not in there at all, period. This is the stuff I can teach you people when buying. Look at that, $1,000 right there for that sucker right there. It's WXGA. I wonder, I'm gonna see something for a minute. I'm curious. Can we get a lamp for this thing? Say a lamp stops working on this projector and I need to get a lamp. Let's see if I need to get a lamp for this projector. What would it cost me for a lamp for this projector? That's why I said anytime you buy venue projectors, look up the parts, which are the 2 main parts you want to look up, is your lamps and your lenses, because those will cost you the most. I'm gonna get a copy of this so I can basically take this over to eBay. Let's go take a pop, see what kind of lamps are going to cost. Come check this. What are the lamps going to cost us? Just curious what they have down here at the product page. Let me see. NH has one over here. No longer available. Yeah, but what's my cost going to cost me? Because that's definitely not a lamp right there. What was the price? They don't have it no longer available. Ooh, this is not good. You're going to probably have to go to eBay to get this bad boy. I guarantee you. Let me see if anybody else has any you got specifications on it. Nobody has a price on that lamp. It always had to stop. Nah, something's definitely wrong with that. That's definitely wrong. That's way too cheap for that lamp. That's never good. That's way too cheap. Let's see what eBay is asking for it. eBay has it. There's nowhere in the world on God's green earth that you're ever going to pay $150 for a barcode lamp. Ain't going to happen. There's something wrong with that from the door. Let's see what we got going on here. No match found. Yeah, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to get that lamp for that cheap. Not going to happen at all, period. Okay, real quick, let's show you the difference between, you've seen the barcodes are expensive. Let's go with the Chrissy's. I should have these on here, right? Chrissy's already on here. Chrissy's. I don't know how to spell that. How to spell that projector? Oh my goodness, I can't remember how to spell this. Is it IE? I think it's IE. Chrissy projectors. Yeah, they have a weird name for them. Chrissy projectors. I want the LW. No. It's the LW 400. It's LW 400. Yeah, because the LWX 400. Yeah, that's another thing too. I forgot they're both 400s. So basically, the two projectors that come out of Chrissy's, one's a Chrissy LW 400, and one's the LX. One's an LX 400. They both look exactly the same. There's a difference between the LX and the LW. The LW, they're both 720p projectors, but the LX is 600 by 800 720p SVGA, and I think the other one is a little bit more advanced than that. I think it's like 7 something by 7. That's what it is. These are pretty cheap projectors. We use these all the time. If you want a really good projector, extremely good high lumens with it, lens shift capabilities, you can lay it flat on the side and use it for portrait mode. These are the projectors to buy. We point a lot of customers to getting these projectors all the time. This is a fantastic projector. This projector right here, but literally on our technology, put any one of your projection screens on a gray screen to shame. Easily. I've blown out certified screens using this projector. $200 is the black ones. Now, what I mean by the bridge, this is the bridge. See that part right there? We call that the bridge right there. That's the bridge. This is a standard throw lens in here, but the ones without the bridge, they come a little farther out. See if we can find one. They got this a lot price. How many comes in a lot? Here is used. They said a lot. We got 2 in a lot. 2 of these in the lot for $125. For $125, they got them in the lot for 2. 2 of these projectors are fantastic. I swear, when I see people come on there with these, well, we don't do that. We're not going to use 720p. I'm going to get myself a nice high-end projector. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, you go get yourself a nice high-end projector, and you think you need all those bells and whistles, and then you're home on a screen that you can't even see your projector correctly, that you spent all that money, because you figure, biggest mistake people make when they buy projectors, they figure all those little bells and whistles that they're going to get in that projector, they're going to see that the next day on their screen. No, you will not see any of that at all, period. Our black technology will allow you to be to see it. But again, at the end of the day, you really didn't spend all that money for that projector because you bought it for the sole purpose of, because it had this much color and it can produce this much contrast, and you figured all that was going to be fixed. No, none of that's going to work at all, period. And you bought a projector because it has a high lumen count, because that's going to be to pick up and a fully lit environment better. That's not going to work either. Your screen's still going to wash out. You're still going to be stuck in the dark, and you're going to be calibrating that machine. And we've seen people like that already, with machines doing that already right now as we speak. That projector at $125, and there's 2 of them at that, which I like that. That projector right there, I can easily take that projector, hit it on my screen at 160 inches, and I can produce 100% contrast and never have to calibrate, and I can be in a fully lit environment right next to a window and pick up with no problem whatsoever. Yep. Now, with our technology, you will get your bells and whistles out of your investment. You just won't get out of a gray and white screen. Oh, look at that. It's clean. It's clean. It's clean. Very clean. Very clean. It's beautiful. Oh, like that. It's clean. Look how clean that is. That is very clean. He got these in lots. I got to make a phone call. We got to make a deal. We got to make a deal. Let's see if he has many. He has many in the lots. We got to buy. Oh, but he got everything. Oh, let me see, Taco. Oh, man, I took my battery down. That's what I did. I mean, I got so much stuff to explain to y'all. So much stuff. Just so much stuff you need to know. They're not telling you anything. Nothing. They're telling you nothing. You're going to tell me this screen has quality and clarity. You show me where that quality and clarity is at. Let me see it. I don't want to see it with a 4K projector. I want to see it with something lower than a 4K projector. I can't stand it when people do that. When they come on camera, they go, you're getting quality. Show me where the quality is coming from. Show me. Pull out that 4K projector, throw that thing in the corner, get something like this, and show me some quality at the end of the day. I want to see that contrast level. I want to see that fully lit environment. I want to see it all. I don't want to see some dark environments in medieval dungeon cave and saying you get quality. Where's that quality coming from? Because you got to strip away those 4Ks and show me where that screen is showing me quality. All right, this is a good deal. This is a fantastic deal. One watching, that might not last long. Anyway, this is why I got to stay over here. So this one does, even though this one doesn't have the bridge, it's still a good deal. This is a really good deal. And these projectors, like I said, can be set up if you're using portrait mode for PC, because they got a handle right there. They sit flat. That's what they're fantastic for portrait mode. Oh, by the way, the lamps are cheap too. The lamps will cost you about under 40 bucks for those lamps. I've had quite a lot of Christie's. Christie's are fantastic projectors. People hear me talking about them all the time. Yeah, Christie projector is a beast. When it comes to color and art technology, that projector is a beast. This is why we use them. I don't know what y'all missing. All right, let me see. Let me go over to, let me see if we can get that, because we can't go back on this. Why they got this? Can we go back on this? We can't go back. No, we can't. It's not even there. Why do they have it that way on their page? It's just downright stupid. I mean, like 1,000 windows open up with all eBay attached to it. Let me go back to my Christie's. Where my Christie's at? There we go. Go back to my Christie's, but that's not the Christie I was looking at. I want to go back to the other Christie's right there. Bum, 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 bum. Gee whiz, I swear. eBay. All right, that's a Christie right there. That's got a bridge right there. That's got a bridge right there. Still good price, very good price. That's got the bridge on it. Boom, there you go. But Steph, you can't buy this one. You know why? Because there's no actual picture of the projector. But see right there, I told you, see how there's no bridge there? Those are the lenses that give you a refined look. They look much sharper, more brighter, and it's almost like your pixels are more compressed, give you a much more sharper, more vivid image. These are the ones you want to look for if you can find them. These are the rare ones to find. The reason why you don't buy a projector from here, and I'll tell you why, because there's no actual picture of the projector itself. At $149, if you look at this projector right here, there is no wear and tear, there's no scuff marks, there's nothing. It is brand new. Do you know how much a brand new Christie projector would cost you for this model? About $2,000. That's how much it would cost you. There's no way in the world this projector is this mint. No way in the world. These are pictures that were taken off of Google. I wonder, let me see something for a minute. Can we do a back search on your Google search and see where this is coming up at? Do a Google search on this and see where this is coming up at. Told you, it's coming from Google. Search find. That's where that's coming from. If he had those projectors brand new that look like that in mint condition, do you have any idea what that projector would cost? That's a $2,000 projector. Even that old is still $2,000. If I go and get myself a Christie 400, I want it brand new. From here, so let's get it over here. And I want it brand new. It's brand new. Told you. Projectors are $2,000. Brand new, they're $2,000. I know my venue projectors. I know them. They're $2,000 brand new. So that same projector that you can get on eBay for $125, that projector costs $2,000 if you buy it brand new. The black ones cost even more. We don't know why, but they do. If you can find one brand new, that's the problem. They're not hard. They're not easy to find brand new. But they don't even have in stock. Not even available. Not in stock. Yeah, they're hard to get. That's the same one he had in there. He had about $2,000 brand new. If you can get one brand new. If you get them used, they're about $130. Isn't that an interesting price jump from there to there? Yeah. Venue projectors. Any one of the venue projectors that I have, like the Chrissy LW505, that's a $10,000 projector right there. That projector costs $10,000 brand new. But because it's used, you can get them for like around $500. That's a massive jump from coming off from when you think about it, coming off from freaking $130 to $2,000 for a projector. Wonderland. Does Wonderland have one? Does Wonderland have? Does Wonderland page even work? Oh, there we go. There's Wonderland. Let's see. We don't want to see all this. Come on. Seriously, you're just going to put... I hate when they do this crap right here. Like, seriously, we don't need to see all that. Just, I don't understand your advertising. I'm all good for that. You know, everybody got to work and make money, but still, it drives me crazy. See that price right there? I told you. I'm not lying to you. This projector's in there $2,000. And they have one. It's brand new. And it costs 90, this is, yeah, around, you might say $2,000, because when taxed it's going to be 2,000 something. Told you. I'm going to sit there and lie on camera to you and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. When it comes to venue, I buy nothing but venue projectors. I know the machines when I buy them. I know what they cost. If I sit there and tell you that projector is going to cost you $2,000, that's what it's going to cost you. So that projector I just showed you that you can get for like $130, $150, you go and buy that brand new. That's what it costs you. Because I had a customer who came up and said they wanted to buy the projector brand new. And I said, well, it's $4,000. You get 3 of them. There's going to be 6 easily. Because they thought it'd be cheaper because it's on eBay for like under $200. I said, no. Venue projectors, when you buy those projectors, if you buy a brand new, they cost a lot of money. Now, mind you, that's the Chrissy LX 400. My projector I have is a Chrissy LW505. That's a full 1080p 1920 by 1200 5,000 lumen projector. Too much that thing costs brand new? They're about $10,000, about $10,000, maybe $12,000 if you can get one of them. And that's without the lens. You don't get the lens with it. Mine came with the lens. So when you buy that projector, you're buying a $2,000 projector. That's what you're buying. And that projector right there, the perks and specifications that a venue has in it are far more superior than your everyday home theater projector. The 505, its keystone is so advanced. I had 12 different options for keystone in that projector. I can set that projector anywhere I want. You see my home theater room, I just stick it on the wall, and the keystone is so advanced, I can hit that thing to the ceiling, bring it all the way to the back of the wall, bring it back to the screen, drop it to the floor, and bring it back to the wall. That's how advanced the keystone is on that projector. When that projector comes on, it automatically clicks like a couple minutes because it's automatically adjusting the focus. I think it's the focus. Yeah, the focus on the projector constantly for each frame. That thing is super beautiful. And then when you add that with our black technology that allows that projector to work at its top performance, that's where everything we hit that with that thing with, or any projector we use, looks absolutely insane because, again, our technology advances those projectors, no problem. You're saving yourself some money. $2,000 for that projector right there. And you can go on eBay and get that projector for around, somebody got a lot. So if you know what lots are, lots is when they sell projectors in like bundles. So he's selling 2 of the projectors for $125. That means that's $4,000 you would have saved in your pocket. Now, if you hit that with the gray screen or white screen, it's going to look god awful. That's what it's going to look like. On our black technology, it's going to look incredible. That's the whole thing about saving the customer money. The reason why the customer goes out and spend all the money for the high-end projector, because they figure if they go get a 720p or lower projector, that the image quality is going to suffer. If they buy lower lumens, they're not going to be doing it in fully lit environments because it's going to suffer. The sad thing about it is no matter what you pay for your projector at the end of the day, without our technology, two things are going to happen. Is you're going to do with those great products that, again, still won't do tester products against household paints, and they should be doing that for the customers to begin with without asking. But you're going to get no color and you're going to get no contrast. You're going to be stuck in the dark and you will be calibrating. You got people sitting out there with $3,000, $4,000 projectors that are sitting in the dark right now trying to do demonstrations. That tell you something right there. That technology right there, that projector right there, if you think for a minute, and we had to tell people this from the door, that they think that, okay, it's the projector doing it. So they would go out and buy the projector, hit a white screen with it, and couldn't get the same results we were doing in our videos due to the fact that you don't have our technology. Without our technology, that projector is garbage. That's what it comes down to. And some of you people who have high-end projectors, well, your screens don't work correctly. Because if they did, you wouldn't be contacting us if they work correctly. Because I'm pretty sure you already tried a white screen, and you probably went out and did gray mixtures and all that stuff, and you're still stuck in the same situation. So that's the reason why they contact us, because they want to do what we do in our demonstrations. Display screens in fully lit environments, pull 100% contrast levels, and don't pay jack for projectors, which I'm about to do. Pay not jack for a projector. I've seen 3 projectors on here I'm going to be picking up today. All right, well, that's pretty much all we got to talk about. Let me see. We've got a chance to look at the stuff we're going to be doing on the site. When the site's going to be changing today because I'm going to be going in and I'm going to be adding some new stuff to the site today. We got a gamer section we're going to put on there. We will have samples of the alpha technology. Put that right there. And it'll probably be the first sample sheet to have a batch number attached to it. It's gonna be pretty cool. And still, with all everything I've been doing, I got to take the time to get to City Hall and get this thing filed, because we have a violation, a batch number violation against a YouTuber who basically tried to tarnish and slander the name of the 2.0. So I have his information over here. City Hall isn't that far from here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna probably get it done, get it popping today, get it done. They said I'll be done, pay for this stuff, and get it set up so we can get this thing in the court and get this thing done. Now, he does have an option. He can decide. Oh, I forgot to add real quick to that individual. We're not gonna mention his name, but if you decide to ignore the order, you will automatically lose in court. You do know that you have to show up, so you will lose automatically. You'll forfeit, which means you will be paying me 10 grand. Either way, you can pay me $10,000 and make a difference. But either way, if you don't show up, that's not going to fix anything for you. You will lose, and you will basically have to pay that 10,000. The difference is I will liquidate judgment right there on the spot, which means we have to go out and we'll have to file to have anything he has liquidated to meet the $10,000 that you will owe me. So it's your choice. And if the individual violated the batch number, choice. We're just telling you that from the door. If you say in court that we didn't warn you, we did send you a cease and desist or desist and cease, what I forgot what it's called. We did send him one. He's fully aware of what's going to happen. So you can't use that in court saying you weren't aware of it, because we did. We did send you documents telling you to back down, and you refused to. So 2 options you have here. If you choose to ignore it and not show up, I automatically win. And I will liquidate right there at the courtroom, right there on the spot, so we can get the money faster. If you choose to come to court and handle the situation, just so you know, don't bother paying for an attorney, because you will lose this case very easily. It's an open and shut case, so it's very easy. So for those you don't know, when we do batch numbers, we make these in 5-gallon containers. In 5-gallon containers, this is a person who did a YouTube video claiming that the product was a scam, they were stealing from people, it didn't work, and so forth. And the problem we have here, his product came out of a 5-gallon container, which means anyone under the 5-gallon container would have had the same issues you would have had, and we would have had massive returns on that product. The problem he's going to have here is the fact that we can show the product was tested and working perfectly fine. We have a customer came in and showed demonstrations that the product was working. And also through our PayPal detailed transaction receipts under that product, we have no returns on it at all. you're the only one. So you're just going to have to convince the judge at the end of the day that your product out of 5 gallons was the only one that came out that way. That's like somebody saying, I'm making sweet tea, and someone's complaining that there's the only one came out of a 5-gallon container or 2-gallon container, whatever it may be. Theirs came out sour. That's virtually impossible. So you've lost that one. So I would say, see what you got in your accounts or whatever you have, but you're going to need that money when you go to court, when they execute that judgment. Not there on the spot, but later on, they'll be requesting for him and how he has to pay it off. If you don't have all of it, I can basically liquidate your income tax, which means I can basically execute judgment to take your income tax from you. So I want my money. That's what's going to come down to. And all that money, we won't be using it. It's not for me. It's for charity. It'll be a charity of my choice that I'll be giving the money to. So let's see if you cheated charity too at the end of the day too. All right, that's done. Get out of here and got to get things to do because we got to get to the post office and we got to drop things off for customers. At least I hope I can help you out a little bit here on looking for venue projectors and stuff like that. I don't have to do research on this, that, and the other. We got to do more tutorial videos like this on top of this too. We have to do some tutorial videos on motorized projection screens because I had a few customers that went in and bought motorized projection screens and found out the projectors were 4.3 aspect ratio and they're supposed to be 16:9. I don't know why they're selling those on Amazon and they shouldn't. They should not be selling you a motorized projection screen and giving it the illusion that it's 16:9 when it's only a 4.3, and they shouldn't do that. They do state it is, but a lot of people sometimes don't know the difference between 4.3 and 16:9. Another major issue you have to watch out for on Amazon is projection screens saying that they're weatherproof. This is extremely dangerous, and I don't know why Amazon allowing this for this to happen, because when you buy a weatherproof screen like Elite, when they're weatherproof screens, they will have a specification in their specifications telling you why the screen is weatherproof. And that's why I said read through that first. If you're not seeing that same thing that what they're saying in their specification or how it's basically designed for no sand and dirt and liquid and moisture and all those different things, they tell you what makes that a certified weatherproof screen, and you're not seeing that in the rest of them, don't go near them, because what people will do is they'll take that screen, they'll stick it outside thinking it's weatherproof, and when the elements get into it, they'll figure out the hard way. Either they'll get electrocuted plugging it in, or it just doesn't work at all, period. And you spent all money for a motorized projection screen that now you can't even pull down because the motor's locked because it got damaged from the weather. That's messed up. But anyway, yeah, we'll do some videos, some tutorials on that. Okay, let me see with the barcode there. I got to go back over in here because this is where I'm going to be working at today when I get back from the post office. And we don't need this here anymore. All right, that's basically about it. I know we're supposed to be talking about the paint coming out in 2023, but, you know, we get in topics. We get to talking about this and talking about that, you know, I mean, this, that, and the other and stuff like that. Now, last thing I'm going to leave you with really quick. Customers. You need to ask. I know we get people right now that are frustrated. I don't care how much flack we get at the end of the day for making this statement. It needs to be done. I don't care who it is at the end of the day. And certified screens, to a certain degree, can't really give you that kind of testing, but their product is tested. But still, you know, but when it comes to screen paint products, this is an extremely dangerous area. And the reason why is because you can be sent anything to your front door and you wouldn't know what you were getting. Anyone can be just sending you gray paint. Anyone can be sending you black paint. Gotta ask for these tests. This is why our tests are posted to our website. This is why we have them there, so we can show the customers between the two. It comes up quite often. We just did, matter of fact, one of the boxes I have here, it's going to art setup, and they asked about the 3D mapping technology we developed. And one of the things we're using is black mesh. And at the end of the day, you're probably thinking like, well, why do I need to spend all this money for this paint? Just go and buy black mesh and do the same thing. That's what we had to show them, that there's a difference between our product and black paint. Sorry, black mesh. So that's why we have all these sets on black mesh and black fabric and all this stuff to show the customer that you're not going to get the same results on our product. You need our product in order to pull that white level, and we have those demonstrations there. If you're going to a website, you don't see that test page there, you need to contact that person and say, hey, look, can you show me a demonstration of the difference between your product and gray house paint and your product? Same thing, we have customers that come up to us and ask us, can you show me a demonstration between your product and black paint? And we can show them that. You need to ask those questions because you can be sent stuff at the end of the day that You paid over too much money for something that's not real. For you people that are selling and making these products, so message to you. Don't get mad at me at the end of the day because I brought this up, because I test my products. I test all my products. So if we test our products, why don't you have to test your product? What makes you so different or better than anybody else that you feel at the end of the day that you don't have to be subjected to testing? Yes, you do have to be subjected to testing, and you should have been doing this a long time ago. If you're just now doing these tests to prove a point, you have completely failed, because these tests should have been done before your product ever sold on your website. Before you ever took one nickel from a customer, you should have had those tests done. So don't get mad at me at the end of the day and tell me to stay in my lane. I'm in the right lane. I'm definitely in the right lane. You need to test your stuff. And if your product is not tested right, if you know that the consumer can do the same thing, then don't get on camera and lie and feed them a bunch of nonsense saying, oh, you're going to get this. You're not going to get that image, because that's a lie. The customer can do the same thing with any other household paints. If you can't show the difference, if you can't prove to them at the end of the day that they're buying a good quality product from you, then you need to pull the product off your website or wherever you have it at the end of the day and stop selling it until you come up with a product that you can back up. And if you can't back it up, get out of the business. That's all to it. You don't like what I got to say, you deal with it. All right, that's basically about it. Got to go. God bless. Be careful what you do. Get out of the business.